Okay, I think we're live now. So I screwed up already. So here's my friends Ron, Joe, Andrew, and Roy. We're live now. I forgot to hit
How you
the
doing,
live
Hello,
guys?
button.
hello,
How you
everybody.
doing, Andy?
What's up,
What's
fellas?
going on, guys?
Hey.
All right.
Where's your
Everybody.
colors, Ray? You didn't wear your
They're all
colors
packed
this
away,
week.
packed away for the winter. I tried to find some purple and yellow, but I couldn't find it.
Purple and gold. Purple and gold.
No, it's
Hey,
yellow. Larry.
Hey, did you guys get Ronnie Pierce on last week?
Yeah, we got him on, but he has where he lives. He lives someplace in Montana, up in the woods, and you don't get a good signal up there. And he keeps cutting out and everything. And I'm anxious to talk to him again because that night after the show, he had to go with his neighbor to hunt a mountain lion because the mountain lion was killing her animals or
Oh,
something.
really?
So he was going to go out with her. And how do you go? How do you do that? How do you go out in the middle of the night? There's no light pole, no lights or nothing. And what do? You just drive around waiting for a mountain lion to jump on you?
Well, they'll come
that?
back. They know where there's food, so they'll come back. And I'm sure he has night vision equipment.
Boy, oh boy.
All I know, if you told me a former driver was doing that, I would tell you I know it's Ronnie Pierce.
Yeah, it's Ronnie Pierce.
That's for sure.
Listen. Before we go any further, I don't know if you want to talk about this, Andy, but I just want all our friends to know. Wait till he gets done doing what he's doing.
Okay, I'm listening.
I want all our friends to know
Right.
because word was out there that you didn't get such a good report yesterday from the doctors. So instead of me answering 100 phone calls, everybody's going to be listening because I told them that you were coming on today. So why don't you just we all why don't you just tell us what was diagnosed to you yesterday?
Well, last week I
know
went
about your heart. You got a bad heart.
Yeah,
right?
I know. Yeah, I'm already on borrowed time. Within a year and a half, 2 years, I'm scheduled to go for a heart operation that they don't think I'm going to pull through anyway. But while I'm waiting for that day to happen, last week I had to go into the urologist because I've been pissing out blood by the pint every freaking day. And it's in. Hold on a second. It's in there, honey, in the freezer. There's trays on one of the shelves. Sorry. So anyway, I went in there for a bunch of tests. They took an ultrasound of my bladder. They put a camera up my rectum, searched around with some kind of ultrasound machines there. Fingers up the wazoo. Grabbed my nuts, did anything possible. The guy said, I don't think it might be your kidneys. But we're not sure if it's the bladder or not. I said, you got to be kidding me. You got to come in for another procedure 2 days from now. That's when, believe it or not, they get their camera and they put it down the head of your penis. And they look in there, and there's no questions about it. They can just see as plain as I'm looking at you guys on the screen. And they found a tumor about the size of a nickel already that's cancerous, they said. I asked the guy as soon as he said he's seen. I couldn't believe it. I didn't expect this. I thought maybe a kidney stone or something, you know. So in my closet. So when he said on one of the shelves, maybe when he said that he seen the tumor, the first thing I said, is it cancerous? Can you tell? He said, I can't tell you 100%, but I'll tell you 99% it's cancer and it's got to come out. All right. So with that, I had to come back. This guy here, he just does procedures, but he's not like the brains of the operation. There's like two of them. They work together, two doctors. And one guy, does these little small procedures, but he doesn't do surgery anymore. So he said to me, you're going to have surgery and you're going to have to cut that out. It's not a big thing. It's really simple where it is. You should be fine. I said, oh, well, thank God for that. But, of course, he's going to tell me that. But then when me and my son went back to go talk to the actual brains of the operation, he says to me, they didn't like the way some kind of numbers came back on that machine when they put the camera up my behind. And he said, number 4 is the top level. Anything over that is a danger zone. My good friend Bobby Polino, I was talking with him, and he told me his was 5.5, and they had to cut his prostate out. Okay, and thank you, sweetheart. And mine is fucking 74.
Oh,
You hear that? 74. 74. So he said, listen, I'm going to tell you 70, 80% sure that we think we got cancer here too. So it already spread there. And then he tells me in front of my kid that I also got the cancer in my kidney. It looks like cancer in my kidney too. So now they made me do a CAT scan the other day, yesterday. Thursday, I got to go for a biopsy. They're going to go in through my rectum. They're going to grab a piece of my prostate. And they're going to get a confirmation on whether it's cancer or not for sure. That the doc said that he's 70, 80% sure it is. But mainly what they want to see is if it's operable at the same time that they can do the surgery on the bladder. So hopefully if it's operable at the same time, they can get me in there and whack out both things and clean that mess up at the same time, hopefully. Hopefully. But meanwhile, neither one of them are surgeons. So I got to wait for they get all the information gathered up because I still got to do the what do you call it? The biopsy Thursday. They still got to get the results back from the CAT scan that I took the other day. And then I got to get all that information and send it to a surgeon who's going to do the actual procedure because these guys don't do the surgery. So, and then I got to wait for him to look at all the findings when he has time to do that, God knows when, and decide whether what he thinks is the best way to attack it. And while all this is going on, and I'm waiting to see what he has to say and do the surgery, they're going to be gathering up more information on how bad the cancer in my kidney is and what stage that's in and what can be done about that. So it's just ridiculous lately, guys. Anybody that knows me, you all know what I've been through for the past few years. It's just fucking unheard of. And I don't know. What do I do? It's God's will. For whatever reason he wants me to do this, I'll do whatever I got to do. I believe in God and I believe in Jesus, and I'm just praying to him that this is what he wanted me to do to prove I'm worthy to go to heaven. And I'll do what I got to do. And I leave it in his hands. Whatever happens, happens. I'll do what I can and leave the rest up to him. Not much more I can do.
That's right.
Well, you
Okay,
got a good attitude, Andy.
I'm glad you're going to start with them pills that we talked about last night. I'm glad you found somebody local, so that's good.
Yeah, I'm going to go take that medicine tomorrow. I'm going to start on that tomorrow.
Yeah, do that, Andy. That helps a lot of people.
Yeah, well,
Andy, introduce us to your lady friend.
I'd love to. This is my friend, Cherie. Come on.
Hi.
This is my friend, Cherie Watson.
I've
Hi,
been
how you doing?
good.
Hi,
I've been
how are
with
you?
him good.
How you doing?
Thanks,
How long are you
guys.
here now?
I've known Andy for
How long you living
probably
here?
20 some odd years, probably.
Yeah, over 20 years we've been neighbors.
I was able to. He got me in the starting car one time, and then he won a race, so I got to skin in the winning circle. So,
Oh.
and he took myself and my girlfriend out to the backside one day and took us around, and we met Jack and his other horse.
That's my horse, Jack Rules.
And he's just a super guy.
Yeah, she's
He's like my brother.
We go back a long time, all of us. We know.
Well,
I know,
well-
and it's cool you guys do this stuff. It's super, super cool you're doing this.
You know, any girl that's ever known me my whole life, even my ex-wife who still loves me, and I still love her, she's a sweetheart. They all know I'm just not the marrying kind, but I'm the best friend you're ever going to fucking have, male or female.
And we love him.
If I got you, when I tell you I got your back and I'm your friend, you got a friend. And because of that, I have good friends like her, thank God.
That's
And,
for sure.
Jack, you ain't lying.
Yeah, and I don't have to worry about I got nobody to take care of me. I mean, this motherfucker, he just come right out and told me. He didn't sugar. I mean, you talk about not sugarcoating things. He just said to me, I just want you to know you're in for a long, tough battle. You're in for a long, tough battle. Oh, and then he tells me, and after the surgery, he's already got me in the surgery and everything ready, just before he even knew about the prostate, just from the bladder alone. He said, I got to go in there like at least once a week. And the nurse is going to show me how to put a tube up my ass and do butt crunches because you're going to want to learn how to tighten up your bladder as much as you can. He said, otherwise, if you don't listen to me, you're going to be wearing diapers the rest of your life because whatever happens from the surgery, you know, it causes leakage and all that other great shit you got to look forward to.
Yeah.
And I told him, I said, listen, I'm telling my surgeon, God forbid that comes to that. If he wakes me up, he's going to be the first fucking fight I get into afterwards.
So I told him, I said, consider it like a woman, Kayla exercises.
Yeah.
That's it.
Andy, did you get in touch with the surgeon I recommended?
No, Joe. I threw his name up at my friend. And
Yeah.
she really didn't want to do anything until she had information to show to somebody. So when I get all that, when I get all that,
really excellent. Really,
when I get all that gathered up, and she goes to present it to somebody, I'm going to say, listen, don't forget the guy at the Jose. I forgot his name, but I got you on. What do you call it? Your message saved. You know.
Yeah, his name is Dr. Antonio Reyes, and I will go talk to him for you if you want. We're very close. He's the one who took my kidney out 8 years ago.
You know, Joe, they keep telling me the same thing. There's all different types of cancer.
Yeah, but he's an oncologist. He does, bladders, kidneys, prostate. He's a man doctor.
Where's he at?
I'm no doctor.
Memorial. He's in Memorial.
Where I go, Hollywood.
Hollywood and Pembroke and West.
Yeah, I know, Joe. That's why I'm giving it serious consideration.
Yeah,
that's where my heart doctor is. And
let me know. I'll go talk to him, and he's that kind of guy that if I talk to him, but we became like best friends. I mean, my surgery was 8.5 hours, and he said, Joe, usually these operations take 4 hours. He said yours was the longest I ever did, and we became very close. You'd be surprised. The guy saves your life, and you really, you get to love the guy. He hugs you every time you go in, and
that's cool.
Every time, he's just a great guy.
Listen,
Andy, you remember when I got mine taken out?
When you got your what taken out?
You're one kidney too, right?
Yeah, I got one kidney. I had cancer too. They found it in a horse wreck. I went to the house, said you got cancer, your kidney, and they took it out. You remember that, Andy? But the kidney, it's not that hard. The kidney, I'm telling you, they go right through your stomach.
The kidney is I told him, my mother had one taken out. You can survive with one kidney. That's a simple.
Listen, I can beat up all fucking 3 of them, but they're jumping all up there at the same time like monkeys in a fucking zoo, climbing on like I got to worry about this surgery, that surgery, this medication, one at a time, guys. No,
I would do the one that needs it the most.
3 at a time. All while it's my heart can't take much more either, guys. I get chest pains. You got no idea every fucking day, and I think this is it. This is fucking it.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
I don't feel good. I just don't feel good. I fight. I fight just to fight the feeling that I don't feel good. I try to do things. Don't sit under the fan, get some air, go outside when it's cold out to wake me up. Just something. Every time I get that feeling like I'm beat, and it's too early in the day to be beat.
Plus, you're thinking about it all the time too. It's in your head.
Yeah.
It's not easy to get rid of. That's hard to deal with, man.
Listen, anybody that knows me will tell you one thing about me. I've always been fucking like an Energizer rabbit on crack. I've always been running around like a fucking lunatic wherever I went. I'm always moving, can't sit still.
That's true.
That's me. So when I tell you I don't want to move no more, the batteries are fucking, they're shot. Just fucking shot. Shot. I've been through 8, 9 surgeries in the last fucking 4 or 5 years, not including an open heart surgery where I had to fucking put a cow valve in me and then another one inside of that. Besides all of that, I went to Puerto Rico to visit my friend Bob, and I caught that RSV virus that's worse than COVID that knocked me out and put me in a hospital for 4 days on a respirator. I mean, I was on life support for 2.5 hours for my first surgery, for crying out loud.
Jeez.
I'm going to be 70, guys. I'm going to be 70. I don't fight like I used to fight when I was 40. You know what I'm feeling.
You're used to beating odds that are against you, so you still could do it, Andy.
What?
Yes, you can.
I listen to me, and I'm going to give it a shot. I'm not going to take an 8 count.
You have to.
I'm going to get up. I'm going to get up, and I'm going to fight again like I always fight. But if I know after the fight, I'm going to be in a fucking wheelchair, and when you knock me out, don't wake me up. Just don't wake me up. That's all. Don't wake me up. I got no fucking problem with that. I'll fight to go through the surgery, and hopefully come out like I am right now. But from what I hear, that ain't gonna happen, Joe.
And you don't know what's gonna happen, and you just pray for the best. And no matter what happens, I know you're ready.
And doctors, what do they know? They're not always right and everything. Yeah, that's true too. But what kind of ethics has this guy got to have if he's telling somebody 70-80% chance you got cancer and it's going to be a really hard road ahead of you, what you're going to go through, if that isn't 100% true, even if it is true, why not tell the guy, listen, it's not as bad as you might think. You're a young, tough guy still. You can get through it. He didn't talk to me like that.
Yeah.
Told me straight out, you got fucking cancer, and I'll tell you that it's going to be a tough fucking road to get over what you got to go through. It's all over your body. I think you couldn't be no more plainer than that.
That's why you should go get another opinion.
And I'm going to from the surgeon after he gets all the information, which hopefully will be Joe's guy.
Yeah,
Good move.
When you get all your stuff,
By Monday I should
all you
have
got to do is sign a release for him to look
Monday.
at your stuff.
Joe, the biopsy is Thursday.
Right.
By Monday, the latest, they got to have the results from the biopsy, and they will have the results from the CAT scan already.
Oh yeah,
So
they
there's
got it
nothing
already.
else for them to do for me to give to the surgeon and say, what are we going to do about this? And not even and tell them still they're investigating cancer in my kidney.
Well, you let me know, and I'll go to the doctor for you and talk to him. But I'm not close with him.
I wouldn't worry about the kidney right away. I would take care of the other things. They're more serious.
Yep. Amen to that. Yep.
Yeah, I know that, Roy. I know that. And after I jump this hurdle and that hurdle, and however I come out of it, half a fucking human being after the surgery or whatever, I got, you know what I got to look forward to? Another year later, you do another fucking open heart fucking surgery. That's going to be so massive that they tell me I ain't going to make it anyway. So, I mean, what the fuck? I won't even get a chance to recuperate from that. I'll be on the table for the heart surgery again.
Andy, you brought in long shots all your life. Why not this one?
There you go.
Listen.
Take a shot, Lincoln did.
Listen, you know how many times I know I had to fight the tough kid in the neighborhood? I bitched, I moaned, and I worried about it, but I showed up to fight him.
That's right.
I'll show up.
I know.
I'm preparing myself for the fight. That's why I'm talking about it. That's why I'm convincing myself too. Yeah, it ain't gonna be easy. Another fight. Here we go. Get ready. In this corner, you in that corner. 3 more fucking things of cancer. And then don't worry about it. There's another big fucking gorilla looking to fight you after you get done with these 3 guys at the same time.
We know about those gorillas. They usually come on Wednesday.
Yeah. Yeah. This is what I'm telling you. It's a lot tougher fighting what you can't see. I'd rather fight 3 big guys from the Bronx.
Yeah, I know. I did. You did.
Yeah.
Andy, your son that I spoke to last night, do I know him?
Maybe, Larry. He's a good kid. He just started late in the game. I really didn't want to get him involved. I didn't want him to get involved because he's so educated and so smart. And, college degree kid. So different than me in that regard. But, he took a shine to it. I figured, you know what? Go ahead, try it. You're probably not going to be any good. You got no experience. Go ahead and do it. And fucking kid win Amateur of the Year award in Pompano his first year.
Yeah, he did good.
Yeah, he took to it like a duck to water.
Listen, you gotta let them do what's in their heart.
Yeah, he's my best friend. My son's my best friend.
Well, that's the way it's supposed
to be.
Friend. Like me and my father.
Yeah.
He lives in Colts Neck. I thought he was in Florida by you. He lives in Colts Neck.
Him and his fiance just bought a house here in some part of Florida near Lake Worth and that area. They bought a
by
house
me over here by me.
You got a bad neighbor up there already.
Fuck you, Joey. Fucker.
You could say that through the screen.
I'll say it right to your face.
To face.
You ain't got no guns no more.
Sit that chair. We had a show it.
You sure about that, Roy? I can reach one right now.
Rick Plano stopped by to see me. My buddy
yeah.
Rick, you guys all know Rick Plano, I'm sure.
Yeah.
He's in Florida now, Rick?
No, he's in Indiana, but he took a break. They were closed or something there.
Oh.
So he's in Florida with his wife, Mary Ann. They were in the neighborhood. They stopped by to say hello to me. And he was worried about me, because my heart, he had no idea even about the cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then when I told him later on, he told me the same thing Larry told me, the same thing Trish Shout told me, the same thing everybody told me. Even Simon Allard, they told me, go take this ivermectin.
Yeah, of course.
Everybody's swearing by it. So
Yeah.
I told my doctor about it. And she laughed. She said, "You know what that is, right?" Like she thought she was gonna get over on me, but she's a sweetheart too. She's a really nice lady, and that's why I go to. And she's very educated and smart. Her name Ann Robley. She's super, super, super. And I mean, she's a head practitioner nurse. She's the doc's right hand girl.
Yeah, nurse practitioner.
Yeah, she's very smart and everybody loves her.
Andy, when you go to the drugstore and see that the druggist, ask him how he came up with 30 milligrams. And the reason I'm asking you this is because everybody I know that buys it over the internet, which 99% of what you get over the internet, the ivermectin is bootleg stuff. And some of it is 2%, some 5%. So the highest I saw on the internet is 10. But when I all the information I gave your son last night, that's the doctor I went to, and he prescribed 40 milligrams for me. So I'm just, and that was after he saw all my information that I sent him. So I'm just curious why, how he came up with 30 milligrams.
Okay, let me stop you, Larry. The druggist did not say that. Okay, I said 30 because I spoke to Trish Soulsby, whose husband just got over the throat cancer, on this medication. So I asked her how much it cost, because she told me to go to the pharmacy where it's going to be. I wanted to be prepared how much I got to come up with to go pay when I get there. So she told me, first of all, she said, just tell him that you're Bruce Soulsby's friend, and he said you're already automatically getting a 25% discount because of how many people went there that she sent already. And they were all 100% astonished and satisfied and got good results from the medication. So they get a 25% thing off. So she answered me back, let's say you took 30 milligrams, one a day for 100 days. That is 600 before a discount is applied. The positive results where things start to shrink or disappear usually show up in 3 to 6 months. Bruce, that's her husband, was at 3.5 months. I read testimony like it started to show good things, but took 6 or 8 months to be cancer-free. So in 3.5 months, he already showed he was clean, but after 6 to 8 months, he was completely cancer-free.
Yeah, I hear a lot of good things about it.
And Rick Plano told me the same thing about him, and Larry swears by it.
Yeah.
Right, Larry?
Yeah, I stopped after 10 days. I think I'm going to go back on it because I have a 3-month supply, and I only use 10 days of it. So I have it here. I might as well take it because the side effects are just about nothing. Very, very little side effects.
Just make sure you take it on not an empty stomach.
What kind of side effects did you get, Larry?
He said
No,
nothing.
just a little pain in the
something.
stomach. That's all.
Yeah,
But
just make sure you eat before you
Yeah,
take it.
that's
Yeah,
what I
just-
figure.
just
And I got a
How
bad
do you
stomach.
want to have that?
I got a bad stomach. But Joe hit the nail on the head. You got to eat.
Right,
A lot of
Yeah,
medication.
that's-
If you don't eat before you take it.
right.
Andy, that
Good.
sheep worm we used to use, was that called Panicure?
No. Panicure's
No?
out right now. That's just another form of ivermectin, whatever you
Okay.
call that shit.
I kept
Yeah,
trying to
it's
remember what it was.
And you want to know what? It's got, I don't know. They said like there's metals or something like that in the ivermectin or whatever you call it. And this Panicure is the same thing, only it's cleansed. It cleanses the metals out of it. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe just
It
another promotion.
detoxes you.
Listen, just like when you go to the Joe, you walk in a tack shop.
Right. It kills
Give me some
the
deworm.
larvae. The
Give me a
the worm
deworm and a
larvae.
little fucking things like that. Shoot it down the throat, bing, bang, boom.
Yeah.
$8, $7.
Yeah.
Ooh, get this one, the Panic Cure pack. You know, it'll brighten
Yeah.
the coat up. It's all sales shit. You know,
Of course. You
got.
you got to make sure you get the real deal, because there's a lot of bootleg stuff. You got to be careful.
Well, you know, they
Because
got it.
there's
They got
so many
it.
people taking this for cancer that they're taking advantage and they're getting stuff from China that's bootleg. So you got to make sure you get it through, like who Larry knows.
I'm going to
with a
take it from the
prescription.
same guy from the
Right,
same
right.
pharmacy
Just make
that
sure.
helped him.
Make sure you get the real deal.
You hear what I just said?
Yeah, I did.
I'm going to get the
Make
same
sure.
exact script from the same guy. The same guy.
Okay, okay.
I mean, she's like 5 for 5. Everybody she sent there, they all have positive results. But none of them had surgery. They already got me scheduled for surgery. So obviously, whatever the hell it is, they're not planning on any kind of medication. Nobody said nothing about chemo or all that all that other shit to me. They said it's got to come out.
Yeah, that's the way they do it now.
So
And then chemo, probably.
And
But
and
Hopefully
then
not.
they
I never needed
decide
chemo.
that,
right.
which you need to get the gremlin out. If it's a nickel size, you have to, like, guys, I had 2 surgeries too. I had lung, I had breast. You got to get the gremlin out. That little nickel puppy,
Didn't you have hip surgery?
I had 2 hip surgeries.
She also had 2 hip surgery. Was riding a fucking bicycle like 2 weeks later.
Yes.
Yeah, well,
This girl's like a female me. She's a tough bitch. I got to tell you, she's tough.
So you get the fucking gremlin taken out first up.
I know. That's what I'm planning
That's
to do.
the main thing. Get it out and then discuss it.
This is what I'm gonna do. But even so, it's good to take it, like you say, Larry. You know, you don't have to worry about it coming back and killing it and everything like that. You know.
yeah, just stay on it. Just
It ain't
stay
gonna
on
hurt
it,
you
no
to
matter
do
what
it.
they tell you.
It ain't gonna hurt you to do it.
Listen,
Don't even tell a doctor, but they'll discourage you.
if you really want to know what's what, ask me on Monday or Tuesday, because that's when they're gonna get all the results back. That's when the head doctor's gonna see all the results from the biopsy and all the CAT scan that they haven't looked at, and all the results are all gonna be in there. They're gonna sit me down either Friday or Monday, probably Monday, and tell me everything they found, to what stage it is, to how they want to attack it, to whether chemo and all this other shit is even on the table. If it's useless and it's got to be taken out, whatever it may be, all we can think about is it could be that. All we know is I do have 3 different cancers. And by Monday, hopefully, we'll find out what they're exactly going to do about it.
Your results should be on my chart already.
Correct.
Are you in any pain, Andy?
Once in a blue moon, but it goes away.
I see you went to Flanagan's recently.
You got to go to Flanagan's because
I
if
know.
you're going to drink, you don't want to keep getting up and down and go fucking make another drink. So you just make yourself one good Flanagan drink.
Flanagan's is good, man.
Yeah. I got cirrhosis of the liver. You see how worried I am about it?
Yeah, I know. You never worried about nothing.
What the fuck? All my organs are having a fucking raffle. Who gets to kill me first? My heart, my fucking
Stop
liver,
it.
the fucking.
Fucking stop
Fucking
it.
They're all
What-
talking
what?
together. What do you got?
You fucking douche.
Listen, like you know, you see those shows like MASH and shit. They're already taking the pool. I know he went through a lot. There's no shot. The over under. When I was 17, the over under on me was 22. Right now, they're talking months and years is the over under. You should start the pool right now. I'm telling you, take the under. Hey, listen to Lacava.
Don't say that.
Lacava said never bet under. You don't like the game, don't bet under.
I never bet under in my life.
That's what I said.
I know I bet under once. It was an all-star game. When the spread was like 80-something points, because they just let everybody go up and down the field. I said, they're not going to do that again. And that's the only time I bet under, once in my life.
Listen, I told that to this big fat kid sucking down beers in a sports bar one day. We were talking about betting over or under. And I said, you know, when you bet over, you know, you're always in it to the last
You always
fucking
got
minute.
a shot, yeah.
Anything can happen. You always got a shot. He said, big fat lazy guy drinking beer. Yeah, At least when you bet under, you know the torch is over quick and you can go to bed and forget about it.
That's true too.
Yeah, but betting over is the only bet you could make where you could win before the game is over.
That's right.
This is true. That's what I said. That's true.
First
You
quarter,
always got a shot. You're always in
28-0.
action, Larry. It's more action.
That's right. You can start looking at the.
Yo,
The 4
Speaking of
o'clock game.
football in action, who are we taking to win the Super Bowl?
Seattle.
Seahawks.
gentlemen, it was a pleasure.
Bye. Nice talking to you.
I'm gonna leave you guys with
Hi.
a boy time.
You're
Take
a good
care.
woman.
All
Take
right.
care of my boy Andy.
So long, baby.
Oh, absolutely.
Thanks again, babe.
He's the best. We love him.
Love you, babe.
Okay.
Be good, honey.
Love you. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Okay.
Bye, boys.
Seahawks can't lose, Andy. Seahawks.
Yeah, I like the Seahawks too.
That's
I
what
don't know if
said.
they're going
We're
to get by
all
New
dead.
England.
We got to figure who Larry wants to throw it out. Who you like, Larry?
I haven't watched the football game.
I know, me neither. I watched Miami the other night.
You know what he said to me when I met
Larry don't even know what teams are playing. Larry just bets on the color of the uniforms.
Listen, when I met Larry, going back now, I'm 17 years old, mind you, with a P license in Monticello, and I'm talking to him one time with just shooting the breeze, bullshit. Tell you, he was like my idol, always was. So he said, you know, kid, you remind me a lot. I was telling him about the football bets that we had. Me and Artie are telling him. You do remember Artie, right, Larry?
Yeah.
So we're telling him about the football. I go, yeah. So like I bet like I got a $200 parlay going. I got Denver and I got this, that, the other thing. Larry's looking, he's hanging out. He says, you know, kid, I like you. He goes, you remind me a lot of like me when I was your age. Only I wasn't betting 200 a game. I was betting 20,000 a game. He goes, and I was a little taller than you and a little better looking than you. This time, the other thing he told me, 20,000 a game he was betting back when he was my age. He said,
Yeah.
you remember that? We used to fire like that.
I remember.
20,000 every game, 20,000. Am I right or wrong?
No, you're right. And that's with two different guys. 20,000
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
Both teams he bet on. Couldn't lose.
Listen, you want to hear a funny story? It don't matter because he's on his way out just like I am anyway, my poor fucking paisan, a Carmine. And we all know who I'm talking about when I say the red man. And he said one time when I was a kid and I was on fucking fire, my dad had all these really super New Zealand horses. I mean, all I had to do was fucking point him in the right direction. It was a joke. And people wanted to know who I liked and were betting for me and coming out of the fucking woodwork. All these big gamblers and wise guys wanted to bet for me. So I made a big daily double bet one night, me on both ends of the double with these two New Zealand horses. That Wichita horse was one of them.
Wichita,
and
yeah.
Cushler's Dream was the other one. I was just a kid. I was 18. And I win the first race with Cushler's Dream, Jiggy Jog. And now I had that fucking Wichita horse in the second rate, in the second half of the double. And there was a horse at the time called Crownwood, trained by Teddy Richter at the time.
Teddy Richter, was he trotting or pacing?
He was pacing
He
at
was
the time.
double gated.
That's correct. He was a speedy crown horse.
Yep.
And they had him on the pace, and he was kicking ass, this horse. And he was the big hype horse. And all I heard was, Speedy, you can't beat that fucking horse. You can't beat him. So I'm on the lead. I forgot who was first up to me. But this fucking horse, what's his name, Joe, again? See, I forget. Crownwood. He's second over, heading to the three-quarter pole at Yonkers. We get to the paddock turn, and I'm just sitting snuggled up. I got Michelle the Chance sitting in the 2-hole. And all I had on my mind is I got to beat Crownwood. And I'm waiting. All of a sudden, I see his head number. He's starting to tip 3 deep. I go, well, here he comes. Let me get the hell away from him right now while I got him stuck 3 wide in the turn. And I go to draw off, and I do, from the first over horse, and Crownwood hung like a freaking chandelier.
And LeChance beat you.
Yep. Well, what happens? Michelle ends up getting out of the fucking 2-hole and beating me.
And you didn't even see him coming.
I was green, and right away I knew my mistake right away. And I said, if I would have just sat there and kept them 3 deep, I would have never had to move my hands,
Right.
and I wouldn't.
You would have locked LeChance in.
Yeah, but You're green. You don't know all these
Yeah.
things. And you panic. You overreact. Whatever case may be. But I'm mad at myself. I know I fucked up. I'm mad at myself. So I come in the paddock. I'm throwing my fucking helmet. I'm pissed off. I'm usually Andy sent around like a Looney Tune. And Carmine comes up to me and he says, "Hey, Cheech, take it easy, Cheech. What's the matter?" I said, "Carmine, I freaking suck." I said, "I suck." I said, I did this and I did that, and I explained it just like I said. And Carmine looked at me and he said, "You know what, Cheech?" He said, "I've seen you drive a lot of races. I've seen you drive a lot of questionable ones. I've seen you drive a lot of good races, showing promise of a lot of talent. But you know what? This is the most impressive that I've been with you so far." I said, "What are you talking about? I drove like a schmuck." He said, "Because even the best drivers make mistakes." He said, "The difference between a good driver and a bad driver is a bad driver always blames somebody else or something else. It's never his fault. And they never learn. They never get any better."
And you blame yourself.
So, yeah, I blame myself. I knew I could have done something different. So, listen, here's the best part. So I says, "Yeah, but not only that, Cheech, I had like a fucking $400 fucking double going." So he goes, "What?" He said, "You bet that kind of money already?" So I said, "No, I had two different guys betting fucking $200 doubles for me." He goes, "You already got two people betting that kind of money for you on a double?" I said, "Yeah." He says, "And you gave them both the same number?" He said, "Cheech, I got to talk to you, Cheech. I got to teach you. He said, "First of all, the first thing you do is give one guy the one you're worried about who's going to beat you. The other guy bets on you if they think you can win." He said, "This way, somebody's giving you money. So one week this guy's the winner, next week the other guy's the winner. They're happy. It balances out. And every week you're the winner, Cheech. And most of all, if you lose, it's not your fucking money. Gabish?" Yeah, gotcha, Cheech. What a good guy.
Carmine was a shrewd businessman.
God, what a good guy. Good guy.
He's doing better, they said, at Disney.
I don't know about that. My first win, Larry.
I spoke to Linda.
My first win at
What year was
Yonkers
that?
Raceway. I parked Carmine Abatello the whole mile with that crazy Wichita horse.
Oh,
So
you
after
couldn't
the
help it.
race, I was sitting in the fucking coffee shop room there with Bobby Heil, who was training for Carmine at the time. So right after the race, I'm inside the driver's room. I'm proud of myself, and everybody's congratulating me. "Good drive, kid. Yeah. But meanwhile, I'm so nervous that I just parked Carmine Abatello, and I can't even be happy about this fucking win. And all of a sudden, here comes Carmine. He walks in, and he's going through that. The little memo, Joe, the mailbox they had there.
Yeah.
And he's looking at his mail. He looks over, he sees Bobby Heil, and he says, "So that filly, how was she today?" And this, that, and the other thing about the horses he had with her in the barn, because he trained for him too.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden he looked, and he's pointing at me, and he goes, "You know this kid?" My heart was pounding. Bobby Heil goes, "Yeah, this is the next Carmine Abatello of Yonkers Raceway." Carmine looked at me and he goes, Carmine goes, hey, what do you think? Just because your last name ends in a vowel, you can park me? He says, "I'll say one thing for you, kid. Either you got a lot of balls or no fucking brains." And I said, "Cheech, don't say that." I said, "You're like my idol." I said, "It killed me to have to park you." He stopped dead in his tracks. He turned around. Everybody knows Carmine knows the ego Carmine's always had. And Carmine turns around and he says to me, "Really? Your idol?" I said, "Yeah, Cheech, you're my idol." He said, "All right, we'll talk, kid."
Hey, Andy.
What year was that, Andy? What year was
Excuse
that?
me?
What year was that?
1974 or 5.
Okay.
4
But
or
he
5.
had to know Wichita. You couldn't take him back.
No, there was no shot.
Yeah, so he had to know that.
Listen, I'm a skinny green kid that figures there he goes. He's putting everything on the front end. Yeah, go.
That horse's head weighed about 300 pounds.
I know. He
It
was
was
a
a
brute.
big.
Listen, Scano says that Carmine and his wife are doing very bad. They're not doing good.
Yeah, I told you that. Donnie Dancer told me. Donnie talks to him
And
every night.
Andy, you know Ray Perry?
Say that again, boy.
Do
Now
you
we
know
got
Ray
interruption,
Perry?
Larry.
You're coming in bed, Roy.
Yeah,
Roy,
you're
you
frozen.
freezing up. What'd you say? If we knew Randy Perry?
Yes.
Yeah, I knew Randy Perry.
Me too.
He's living in an assistance old folks home right here in Boynton Beach.
Yeah. He took a turn for the worse. He got involved with the fucking drugs.
Yeah, somebody went to see him yesterday. He's got no teeth and no hair.
You know how he got all his money?
He got a lawsuit.
Nope. He sued
Yeah, he fell at the
Meadowlands.
Meadowlands.
Yeah, he
He
sued the
sued
Meadowlands,
Meadowlands.
right?
Yeah,
The
he
fucking
fell on
garage
ice.
door fell on him. The
No, he
garage
fell on
door-
ice coming out of the barn.
No, the garage door snap fell on him. The garage door.
No,
you know
the garage
those
doors.
that the Meadowlands has.
The Meadowlands doors don't fall down. They open from side to side.
Well,
He
one
fell
has.
on ice. I noticed.
Yeah, at the Meadowlands by the barn then.
Listen to me. Listen. I was right there.
Uh-oh.
He slipped on the ice. The door. He tried to get the door open. He slipped on the ice. Michael Deutsch was his attorney, who was also a trainer and driver. And Michael Deutsch got him $1 million settlement from
There
the
you go.
Meadowlands.
Right.
Wow.
That's the bottom line. I knew the garage door had something to do with it.
No, the door wouldn't open. It was frozen.
Right.
He kept trying to open it.
Right.
And but Randy was the first kid back in the early 60s. He was the first kid. Today, if you see a kid with purple hair, you don't think nothing of it. But Randy had purple hair, yellow hair. Randy was a freak back then. He had
Yeah, he was.
dye his hair all different colors and everything. He was a little weird back then.
Very.
Yeah, and Randy's father had a big dress factory in Astoria, Queens, and Astoria, Queens was where that fella that you just mentioned. What the hell's his name? Teddy Richter.
Richter.
Yeah, Teddy Richter was the biggest bookmaker in Astoria, Queens, and the biggest and the toughest guy. He was a big guy.
Yeah.
I don't know how he ever got a license. But I was very, very friendly, very close with him. He was a good guy.
Yes, he was.
And tough, very, very street tough. I mean, a bad guy.
And you would never think it. He was so
No,
pleasant
he was
and
the
lovely
nicest
guy,
guy,
right?
nicest guy in the world. But he was
Yeah.
he was very, very, very tough. But he had some criminal record. He did a lot of things, and then the next thing I know, he had the horses. I think you know what I think. I'm almost positive I got this right. He put it under his son's name or something like that, and he made believe he was his son. Something like that. It was something like that. But I was surprised, and I says, "How the fuck did you get a license?" And he told me it was something with his son or his family or something. They switched IDs or something. I don't know. But he was a real nice guy and a tough guy. And you're right, he did have that double gated
Crownwood, yeah.
Yeah.
He was in the barn with Tommy DeLuca in the same shed row.
Yeah.
You remember him, Joe?
Of course.
I said, Teddy, what are you giving these horses? Come on, Teddy, tell me the truth. What are you giving these horses? You want to know the secret? He's the stutter, right? Well, they're happy horses. They're happy horses. Look at my horses. They had all their horses' heads sticking out of the stalls. You see them? They're happy horses. I give them carrots. I give them apples. They're happy horses. I said, okay, then. You know what?
Hey, you know what? That is part of the equation.
Yeah?
That is part of the
Right.
equation.
Yeah.
A happy
Without a
horse.
doubt.
He probably wasn't too far off.
Yeah.
Happy horse is a good horse. Not sour.
Right.
Yeah. You know.
That's what I told you last night, Andy, about it's not only would horses keep happy in body and mind, same thing goes for you too. Get all that negative shit you're talking about out of your head and everything's going to be fine.
You heard that saying,
Got
happy
100
wife,
guys
happy
on
life.
here. Got 100 guys on this column, on this comment section. They all wishing you a lot of luck and prayers and everything else. I told you last night what I think. You're going to be fine.
I appreciate it, guys. Believe me, I'm not stupid. What else could you say? You got to say what you're saying. And I'll be honest with you, like I got a good attitude. What I'm saying now and how I'm acting now, and that's how I really feel about things. But I'd be lying to you if I told you, there are times when I'm alone with my own thoughts, and I think about my grandson and not seeing him no more, and
It's very difficult.
and things like
gotta
that.
get
Like,
through it.
I get choked up. I get choked up,
Of
and
course.
I think about it. But like I said, I just think like everybody gets their turn. And whenever it comes, nobody. It's my mother's 90, God bless her, and I told her she's gonna outlive the fucking whole crew of us. She laughs, but she will. She's a tough lady, my mom, God bless her. And I just worry about her and my son, and how they're gonna take it, if God forbid it's my time, and that's my main worries, I worry about them. I won't have any worries. I worry about them, and I try to prepare my mother and my kid for it, and you really can never prepare anybody for losing someone else. I mean, I think about when I was worried about losing my father, and I was definitely more broken up and more worried about losing him than I am myself.
Yeah.
So it's
So far, the best thing I've seen in the last month happened about 20 minutes ago when you were laughing hysterically. So let's get back to the happy stuff and
Yeah.
stop all this. Stop all this. You're going to be fine.
yeah,
Yeah.
like I said, Larry. It's a mood changer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
You try not to dwell on it.
I
But
know. Look, if I thought that you was close to death as you think you are, I would tell us some of them races that you and Roy fucked up between the two of you.
I'm not racing anyway.
No, I'm talking about years ago.
I said, I'm. What are they going to do to me? Take away my license? They want to bring me to court? I'll definitely be dead before the court case.
It
that's
was
for sure.
only a joke, Andy. It's only a joke.
I know, but I'm telling you straight out, I don't give a fuck. I didn't back then when I had a lot to lose. I certainly don't now.
Freaking Roy was the biggest misfit. He used to hit me with the whip in the race. I'd be alongside him. He hit me in the whip.
Listen,
Remember, Roy?
You don't listen. That's why.
You don't listen. Yeah, I'm going to let you out.
you don't even want to know. Listen, I was at Pompano when I was telling my friends that listen to my buddy Larry Rolla. He's going to introduce me and Roy Marohn. We were looking at the clip when me and Roy were on the last time. And somebody mentioned it to me, and they started cracking up when he said, yeah, Larry gave a good introduction, two good guys. Yeah, they've been around back in the day. Andy's fucking little nuts, crazy bastard, but this, that, and the thing, whatever. And Roy, he's probably even crazier than him, but no, wait a minute, let me think about that. No, but he's crazy anyway. And my friends would say, yeah, you got to go some to top you. And I said, let me tell you something. Anybody that thinks Roy ain't as crazy as me don't know him as well as they know me. That's the only difference. That boy was great. That boy was crazy, and he was crazy than 3 bed bugs fucking fighting over the pillow.
He still got a piece of lead in his leg. I shot him.
Oh God, I had so much fun with him. Me and him had so much fun.
You know the story when I shot him, Andy?
Yeah, listen. Yeah, we talked about that. I was there. I was at the game.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I played softball with you. You kidding me or what? I love playing ball my whole life. I should have stuck to it. I would have been. I could have been somebody. I could have been a contender.
We had so much fun.
Listen, Roy,
You definitely would have been. Go ahead.
How about the time we had a contest? Me, you, and Artie, and that guy Steve on a table in Farris Cottages with the lines around the table. Who could go the furthest? When Uncle Georgie and the other guy, Alex, dropped off a package in the refrigerator for us.
In the freezer.
In the yeah. The
They came back. It was the fucking package was half gone.
We're all fucked up on coke back then when we were kids. And these 2 lunatics come and they go, listen, you guys, we're going to put this in the fucking freezer. It was like a fucking ounces of fucking
Their bullet holes were in the car, remember?
Yeah. He goes,
they came with bullet holes from the Bronx.
They put a half ounce of coke on the table and said, this is for you guys. It was me, Roy, Artie, and that kid Stevie, whatever. What was his name? You remember what I'm talking about, right? Snort, the guy he's like
Stevie Finger.
Fingers, that's it.
Fingers, his nickname was. He worked for me, that guy.
Yes. They left us with a half-ounce Coke of Farris Cottages in Monticello. So what do you think? They go, here, don't touch that shit in the refrigerator. These are all three button guys, not wise guys, 3 button guys that are involved with wise guys. These were the guys that the wise guys sent to do the dirty work. They drop off this fucking shit in the refrigerator. What are we going to tell them? You can't leave that here? And then they go, here, and this is for your troubles. Don't touch that shit. Well, me, him, and the other two, we made lines around the whole fucking table. We drew 4 lines that went around the whole table, and we rolled up a $100 bill and had a contest. Who could snort it the longest without stopping? That's what we were fucking doing when we were kids. Then they put us in the back of this fucking van. The guy, you know, when you come out of Monticello, and you can go straight up the hill to where that ice cream stand was, or you can walk off to the right and go down into the middle of town. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So we're going up that hill, and his car's tailgating, beeping. We're going slow and brightening them. The 2 guys, 2 of the 3 guys, one was driving the van. The other 2 pushed me, him, and Artie off to the side, took 2 sawed-off shotguns, opened up the fucking back doors, and started firing at the guy front of the guy's grill and blew the guy's fucking car apart. Slammed the back doors and fucking took off. Like it was all in a fucking... And then they just looked at each other. Fucking jerk off, right? And then he lit up the smoke and had a cigarette like nothing happened. And me, Roy, and Artie, and the other guy in the back shitting our pants out. You remember that? Well, it's a wild crew.
I thought we were finished.
Fucking crazy.
Hey, what about the time, Andy, we went to this fucking bar down in Fort Lauderdale. We met these 2 girls, and we come out and get in your car, and you said, hey, look, pal, they left us a note on my windshield. It was a fucking orange parking sticker. We parked in
Wait, the name of the place was Fishtails.
Yeah, that's it. That's the place.
So there was all old people there. So we pick up these 2 broads. I don't know. We were in our 50s. We were in our 50s. It was 10 years. Wait, I'm going to be 70. We were in our late 50s. And we had another one of my friends with us. And whatever happens, happens. So now one night after that, we're at a block party. They closed all A1A down. It's a big street here in Florida. And they had live music, live bands the whole night. All the bars open their front doors, the restaurants. You got all the food on the street. It's really nice. So it closes like at 12 o'clock. I says, guys, I feel like still partying. They go, yeah, me too. Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? So Roy, one guy goes, well, how about Fishtails? Oh, Roy goes, Fishtails. Roy said, how about Fishtails? I go, Fishtails? Oh, man, there's all old people there. Roy looked at me dead as the eyes, serious could be. He goes, hey, the fuck you think we are? I said, oh, yeah, we are old people now, aren't we? We're like 58 years old, still thinking we're teenagers. Oh, my God. We're looking at these broads in their 50s that like they're 90. We won't go near them. Meanwhile, we're older than they are.
Time goes by, man.
Creeps up on you, man. Creeps up on you.
We had some fun back in the day.
Holy shit.
What about the guy that lived underneath your apartment there? The guy from the Bronx, the Al Capone guy.
Which apartment, Roy? I've had 150 of them.
No, the guy from right underneath with the Camaro. Remember the black Camaro?
TC?
TC. Remember telling that story?
Yeah. He's dead too, the poor bastard. He's dead. Cancer.
He died quick.
Cancer. Artie's dead. Cancer.
Jeez.
Fucking everybody. Fucking. I never thought I'd deal with this. My father had a heart attack. My grandfather had a heart attack. My Uncle Frankie had a heart attack. My sister's got a bad heart. Nobody in my family got cancer. Nobody.
Wow.
Oh, well. Anyhow. We used to have some good times. Most of the good times we had were in Monticello. We used to have a ball up there.
Great time.
That was the place to be back then. Huh, Larry, back in the 70s?
In the summer, forget about it.
Yeah.
Joey, remember when I sent the grill to your house
Yeah, I remember. I remember, Roy.
with his wife in the house?
She's my ex-wife.
Oh, your ex-wife, yeah.
But, you know, my daughter was up there and I told the girl, I said, listen, my wife's coming up. She's my ex-wife, but, you know, don't come by. And my daughter's going to be up. So I said, please don't come by this weekend. I says, so what does Roy do? He sees her and he said, Joey says it's very important to go see him right away. 2:00 in the morning, she comes knocking at the door. I remember, Roy.
There's something so wrong with that boy.
Yeah, he definitely
He's like his brother. Him and his brother, two peas in a pod.
certified nut.
I don't know who gets under your skin, him or fucking Jimmy. It's a toss-up.
Wait a second, pal. Don't even go there.
Jimmy used to do fucked up things, Jimmy. But I'll tell you what, Jimmy was a good friend of mine. Jimmy was a good friend of mine, and he still is a good friend of mine, Jimmy. And like I remember when I was just starting out. I mean, just starting my first drives in Yonkers, fresh out of 2 weeks of racing in Roseville, right to Yonkers, and qualifying. I'm in a qualifier, and I got a killer, fucking Kushler's Dream, a fucking killer. We worked her in like 2-1. The open was going in 2 minutes at the time. And she's going to be in a race that's going to go in like 2.3, 2.4. Qualifying time was like 2.5. So my father said, listen, I don't care if you don't even make qualifying time. Just don't show this mare up. Don't go more than 2.4. You hear me? I said, no problem, Dad. I won't go. I promise you I won't be 2.4. So now I got this in mind. I got to go slow. I get down to half in 1:04 and 1. Qualifying time is 2.5. Everybody in the race wanted to kill me because, you know, the chances of them qualifying now is slim and none. They got to come home 100. So when I see what I did, once again, green as an apple, instead of just saying, well, you fucked up, it's too late, and come the last half in 3 and look like you got nothing. No, I got to step on the pedal now because I got to qualify the horse. And I come the last half in a minute and 3/5, and I qualify in 2.4 and 4, and I make it. I'm the only one that made it. Now, there's some big guys back then. Gaston, Jean Guy LaRue.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember him. Jean Guy LaRue was in the race. Jimmy Tallman.
Yep.
Sweet guy. I'm talking about big guys, scrappy guys. And they're all looking at me after the qualifier like they want to just choke me. But nobody says a word to me. Nobody says a word. Here comes this little fucking misfit, Jimmy. You happy now? Okay, you happy? You happy? You're the only one that fucking made it? Are you happy? I go, hey, listen, you fucking asshole. What do these initials say? HF? I'm not Hervé Filion. I said AS. What do you think? I did that on purpose? What do you want me to tell you? You know how that's bullshit. You've been driving long enough now, and that's just bullshit excuse. And he walks away from me. But meanwhile, he embarrassed me in front of everybody in the locker room. So I'm driving home with my father, and I tell my father what happened and blah, 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 and it was eating me up alive. And I'm living with my father at the time, Massapequa. So we got to drive home from Yonkers to the island of Massapequa, having dinner with my mom and dad, and now we got to go drive all the way back up to Yonkers to race, right, father and I. I says to him on the way up, I'm still steaming. I said, I'm going to tell you right now, Dad, I don't care. If that little mother doesn't have an apology for me, I won't hit him, Dad. I won't punch him. But I'm going to slap him, Dad. I don't care. I'm going to slap him. Andrew, stop. That's all you need. You want to get yourself in more trouble? Don't be stupid. Just be the better man and don't worry about nothing. I said, all right, Dad, I won't do nothing. All right, Dad, I won't do nothing. So now my father's got the groom warming up one of the horses that I'm racing that night, and I'm standing on top of the ramp with my dad in Yonkers on the fence watching the horse go. And here comes little Jimmy up the fucking ramp. And he's a celebrity, you know, they're all stopping him halfway up to talk to him and everything. And Jimmy really was. He was a little celebrity in his own right. And he's comes walking up the fucking ramp, and we make eye contact, And I'm looking at my father like, I told you what I said. He better have an apology for me. And he goes, hey, asshole. I go, that's it. He's fucking dead. He's fucking dead. I swear to you, my father goes to grab me. He couldn't stop me. My old man is 6 feet 380. He couldn't stop me. I shake hands with my father. I was walking down the ramp. I'm going to smack him. And all of a sudden he goes, listen, I won't be here this weekend. I'm going to Barbados. I told Frankie Brown to put you down on those two that I was scheduled to drive for him. Yeah, they're two nice colts. They can win. You'll like them. He wouldn't say he was sorry. That was his way of saying, like, here, you know what? You're right. You know, I should have grabbed you on the side and said something to you, you know, or gave you a little more leeway. But, you know, he had his own horse in a race or whatever. He was pissed he didn't make it to. And he's close enough to say something to me, where if anybody else would have said something to me, and I don't give a fuck who he was, we would have been fighting. That's all there was to it. But that's how it was. Gerard McDonald said something to me once. I took him and stuffed him in a fucking locker and turned the locker upside down. I was pounding on the fucking locker and sitting on the locker. God is my witness. And Tommy DeLuca was paddocking the horse for my father, and I was driving the horse. And Tommy came running in the driver's room where I was sitting on top of the locker. And he said, what are you doing? You're in this race. Your father's freaking out. He's on the fucking ramp. I told anybody lets him out of this fucking locker, you're going to have to deal with me. I'll tell you that right now. I went and drove the whole race for my father's qualifying. Came back. He was still in the fucking locker. Somebody had to go and tell my father to fucking tell me to get him out of there. And then my father slapped me around a little bit, yelled at me, and made me go fucking let him out of the fucking locker. I did a lot of crazy shit. Maybe that's why I'm being punished for it now. Who knows?
I know somebody who smacked Jimmy a couple of times.
This was Gerard McDonald. I never laid my hands on Jimmy. I did. And Donnie, and this guy, and that guy. The best is what you did to Bobby Vetrano.
Yeah.
Tell him the Bobby Vetrano story.
I don't remember really, but it's...
Well, you put him in the fucking dumpster at Roosevelt.
Yeah, the garbage pail, the dumpster. Yeah, he said something smart to me.
Old white boots. Bobby Vetrano used to wear these fucking white boots all the time. And Joey I forgot why, but I remember him marching over to his fucking barn, and they're having words outside as Bobby's trying to, like, push him off going to his car, like he don't even want to hear about nothing from Joey. And next thing I know, Joey picked him up by the throat, his crotch, turned him upside down and threw him head first into the fucking dumpster. And his shiny little white boots were shaking outside the fucking manure bin. Not the dumpster, the manure bin.
Yeah.
That was good. That was good.
There were some good memories.
Yeah. Bobby Rayner, Momentous.
Yeah.
Characters that were on the place. Do you remember that horse, Larry? Momentous and Bobby Rayner?
Yeah.
Larry, you remember him?
I don't
Ronnie
remember.
knows him. Ronnie knows those. He used to ship them.
Is that right, Ron?
Yeah, he used to wear pink colors. Remember?
That's right. Pink and blue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pink this week.
Yeah.
You had to walk that horse. You had to put the lead shank through a pipe, and hold it out like this, and walking him down the.
Larry, this horse used to kick during the mile.
Yeah, he was
go a quarter
gray
29
horse.
seconds
He was a
down the
gray
backside. Throw
Yeah,
a
he was a
kick.
gray horse.
Yep.
He had him in the claimer because nobody would claim him.
Nobody
And he
would take
was
that
mean
horse.
as
No, he
hell.
was the only guy crazy enough to drive him.
Yep.
Yeah.
I wouldn't drive him. No fucking way. I wouldn't drive that horse.
Yeah, he was
He was
really
a
nasty.
dangerous horse.
Yeah.
Fuck that. I don't give a shit. They stick their toes in, they jump sideways, they do all kind of bullshit. When they start that kick and shit, I'll never forget. I watched Frankie Popfinger come
This
up the
horse
ramp.
bite the shit out of you.
Yeah,
Forget
and
about
bites
kicking.
you
You
too,
got close to
and
him.
bites
He'd
you,
bite
right.
the crap out of you. I mean, and grab you by the shoulder and pull a piece off you. He was nuts.
nasty.
Oh, terrible.
He was fucking
The
nasty.
worst horse I could even think of, to tell you the truth.
I told you.
Norman Duplass had a bad horse called Pete Moss. You remember him, Andy?
I remember
Remember
him.
that
I
horse?
remember him too.
He was a bad horse, man.
They
He
put a
killed-
picture of
they
him
said-
winning with winning with a horse in Monticello's thing today. Petey Lou. Petey Lou. I was fucking 17 years old. They got a picture of that in Monticello. Listen to this. Marvin Maker, Larry.
Marvin Maker.
Marvin Maker.
Hey, mister.
Hey, not for nothing. He was a good little driver.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was.
He looked like the guy in the back of Mad Magazine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Yeah.
What me worry?
Walter Case looked like that guy.
He looked. I used to call him Marvin the Martian Monkey.
Fucking
He weighed about 90 pounds.
him and John Gilmore were good friends.
Yeah. Well, that whole crew. Him, Gilmore, Gillis, Don
Yep.
Gillis.
Pete
He just
Lutman.
passed away too now. Mike McAuliffe. You know Mike McAuliffe?
Yeah, he's in Ohio, right?
Yeah, he's married. He's marrying, or I think he married. I'm not sure if he got married yet, or he's marrying, or he's going to Don Gillis's daughter.
I seen him at the sale, Lexington.
Yeah, that's where he's working with somebody out in Lexington
Fucking
now.
buying all kind of horses for big money.
Yeah, he works with somebody with really big money.
Yeah,
He got
huge
like 30
money.
babies. One owner. The guy owns 30 babies, and he's got
Yeah.
Mike training for them.
Yeah, they're on some
can't
farm. He
do
bought some farm there. They got some farm.
I want to ask you guys right now, any one of you right now. You see the weather in Monticello, 16 degrees, Ohio, Northfield, 12 degrees. They're out there in the snow, racing on that. Can any of you do that anymore?
I
Can
can't.
you do that?
No shot.
I
It
can
was
never do
cold
that.
here yesterday with 65.
I could never do that ever again. I don't know how they do it. I look at them, I don't know how to fucking did it.
It was 16 degrees here today.
Crazy. I don't know how
High
they
of
do it.
22.
I couldn't do it, and we did it every day like it was nothing.
It was 61. I put on my coat to go to the store.
You remember
before.
Monticello used to race at night in the winter?
Yeah.
You get in the last race, midnight, it'd be like 20 below. We used to go out and race.
I remember when I was a kid looking at the bright
Fucking
horses,
water buck-
red lights. The big red horse light lit up in the sky as you're coming up to the mountains. And
Yeah, right.
It would light up in the fog. You get so excited to get close
Yep.
to there when I was a kid.
Yep.
Then on the way home,
Water buckets frozen.
Yeah.
brutal.
Water
That was
frozen in the
tough.
barn. Fucking brutal. Broke, no
Larry,
money.
Did you race in Monticello, Larry, when Joe Rico, Marvin Maker, and Georgie, Johnny Gilmore, them guys?
I was there from 1971 until 1984.
71 to 84. 71.
Those are good years.
I was 15. That was before me. I didn't get there till about 74.
Yeah, you got in the business 2 years before me, Andy.
You got there in 76?
Yeah.
I worked
Andy,
with you.
me,
I
you,
worked
and
for-
Ronnie Pierce. Me, you, and Ronnie Pierce got our license the same day.
And how about me, Renee Poland, and Jackie Moe all went for our qualifier Q licenses together and freehold at the same time. We were all in qualifying races together, getting our Q drives.
Yeah.
Amazing
goes
how
by
time
fast.
flies.
They used
Right.
to have driver qualifiers at Roosevelt, remember?
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, Roy, you remember Roy that worked for Woodbury?
Yeah.
No, Ronnie, do you remember
Yeah.
Roy?
Me? Yeah, I hired him. He worked for George Wampatish.
Yeah, my boy George Wampatich, right. Do you know that woman that he was living with, George Phelan's ex-wife?
Yeah.
You know, she's still
Elsie.
kicking. Elsie. She's still kicking.
Huh.
I saw her the other day. Last time I
Yeah.
was in New York. Tough lady. She got to be like fucking 90.
Yeah.
She's driving a car.
Well,
Driving a car.
Yeah.
Couldn't believe
George
that.
Phelan.
Yeah.
He was a good little driver. But he didn't get no catch drives.
No, he
Yeah.
had his own barn. He had a couple of nice horses. He had
Yeah, but
Nicolampus
he never
Leroy.
got no catch drives.
Remember Nicolampus Leroy?
Nicolampus Leroy.
That's a good horse. Yeah,
Yeah.
that fucking horse.
He had
That
about
was a
10
good horse.
Nicolampus horses.
Yeah. But
Nicolampus.
Nicolampus Leroy was his best one.
You guys remember? I don't know what year in the 70s, but it was early 70s, and they were racing at Yonkers, and I was bringing a horse from the truck up I think it was around the second or third race, and the crowd went crazy, yelling and screaming. And when I brought the horse into the paddock, I asked somebody what happened, and they said Norman Duplays just went in 59-4. I think that was the first.
With mirror image.
I thought it was Peter Wood.
Is
I
that
thought it was-
Roosevelt or Yonkers?
Yonkers. I
Oh,
thought it was
no.
Peter Wood, and it was the first mile, sub 2 minute mile, 59-4. They were all going crazy. Oh my God, this horse must be a monster.
I remember the
I'm
track
pretty sure it was
record.
Peter Wood.
I remember the track record was broken at Roosevelt by Maine Morris, Pat Iovine.
I remember that horse.
And then the next week, Norman Duplays broke the record.
And how fast was that?
Like 57.
Wow.
You know who had the track record 57-1? You're gonna laugh when I tell you this. Secret Service.
Secret Service, Joe Vance.
Yep. Paul Vance, actually.
Yeah, the father was Joe Vance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't that horse three-legged?
No, Paul was the son, right?
My horse. I had a horse out of Secret Service that was three-legged.
Yeah, it was a nice horse, Secret Service.
Yes, he was.
He was a music writer, Paul Vance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He wrote
Itsy Bitsy Teeny Weeny Yellow
Yellow Polka Dot Bikini. Yeah,
Yeah, he wrote all those stupid little songs.
yep,
He was good friends with Paul Anka.
yep.
Yeah. And that other thing, the star, Twinkle Star or some shit.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fucking nitwit.
What do I know? That's
Hey.
it, guys. I'm wore out.
You got to give them credit. They made it.
All right, Andy, listen, you take care of yourself. Think
Yeah.
positive and go for it.
Yeah. I don't
Where
even
you
know how to
going,
sign
Roy?
off. I'm
Andy.
just going to shut the thing off.
Andy, keep us up to date.
Who's
on
leaving?
everything.
Like I told you, I'm going to know everything I need to know Monday.
All right,
Is-
go to bed. Take it easy. You're winding down.
I am tired.
All right.
All right, we'll talk to you during the week, Andy.
All right, guys. Have a good night, guys.
Andy, you
Pleasure
call me
talking to
Monday.
you
Andy,
all.
take care.
Hey,
Andy.
Andy,
Hey, Larry, do me a favor, will you?
Yeah.
I don't know who these people are, supposedly that wish them any luck or whatever. So will you just tell whoever and make an announcement that, I thank everybody that's
you're doing it right now.
You're
Pray
doing
for
it right
me and,
now. They hear you, Andy. They hear
well,
you.
I want to thank everybody that's, that supports me and that has, I don't want no sympathy, but just best wishes and God's prayers and hope that whatever happens in God's will and that'll be that. And I want to thank you all for that. Appreciate
Andy,
it.
Andy, can I tell you something? I don't have
Sure.
any doctors to recommend you to, but I can recommend one thing. You mentioned that you believed in God and Jesus Christ. Put yourself in his hands, ask him for help, and ask him to give you peace, and he will. That's
Me
the
and
only
me
thing
and
you
Andy
can do
had a
now.
good talk
Ask
the
him for
other day.
peace, and you'll get it.
Ronnie, I pray every morning, every
And-
single morning, Ron.
Well,
Andy,
Every
you
morning
have
I
to
pray to
believe,
him.
and if you believe, you'll get peace.
I every morning I pray. I don't ask him for anything. I thank him for everything he's given me, and I
Right.
tell him if you could just. All I've ever asked God besides that is when my time comes, just make it peaceful. That's all I ask, and I anxiously await to see you. Anytime you want, just don't hurt me. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Good night,
All right.
Andy. Make sure
Good
you
night,
let
guys.
us
Take
know.
it easy, Andy.
Andy,
Take
take
care.
care. Call me Monday, Andy.
I will.
Later.
All
Love
right.
you, bro. Love you, bro.
Good night, guys.
All right, Andy. Oh boy.
I really feel bad for him, man. He's going to go through a lot just
Yeah,
thinking about this stuff.
Let him get through it, and it's all worth it.
Deep
It's a
down
tough
inside,
situation.
he's a really good person.
Yeah. What
But,
are you
you know
gonna do?
what?
It's,
And everything hit him at once. That's the main thing.
I spoke to him last night, and then I told him, I said, I think the best thing was that he comes on here. At least he laughs and everything rather than sitting at a
Yeah, of
bar
course.
by himself. Because he had a fight with his son. I don't think his son is living there with him anymore. Though he has two sons, and he's all by himself. And I says, Andy, come on, and it's good because at least we got him laughing for a while. So that's good.
Joe, where does he live?
Right in Pompano.
He lives in Pompano.
But I mean,
Right
where? Because
Right
Near
behind
the
the race.
track.
Right behind the track.
Yeah.
yeah, I would like to get his
He
address
lives in
because
Cypress
I'm
Bend, right?
yeah.
Yeah,
Because
Cypress
I'm
Bend.
going there. I'm going there in 2 weeks, and I could like bring him. You know, like he likes that Gianni's place. I could like bring him food like once or twice a week, or
Yeah,
something like
we
that.
had lunch at Gianni's about 2 months ago.
Yeah. Well, I gotta get his address somehow.
Yeah.
I think he likes Diamond Dells better.
Yeah.
What?
No, forget
Diamond
it.
Dells.
The topless place. You don't know. Ronnie won't go there.
Fucking lives in that place.
Yeah, well, I
All
get his
right.
address and
You know what
go see
you
him.
know what I want to talk about? You know what I want to talk about, Ron? I
What?
want to talk about we talked about it very, very briefly the other day when we spoke on the phone. But I want to give my opinion, and I want Joe's opinion and Roy's opinion too. We talked about I think your question was, what do you look for in thoroughbreds? And you know, is a racehorse. Here's what I started to say, and I'll say
Go
this
ahead.
now. I've seen in both divisions of racing, both standardbreds and thoroughbreds, and I mentioned this to you. I seen people pay thousands and thousands of dollars to give to these people that are supposed to be breeding experts that know the right crosses that go back 2-3 generations and that know all the right crosses and everything else. I seen them pay these guys $10, $15, $20,000 to mark the catalogs for them, and to no success, no success. And I laughed one year. It was the thoroughbreds that they had this guy. I can't remember his name, but he happened to get lucky one year and he bought a horse for this outfit, and the horse turned out to be a pretty decent horse. And when they interviewed him, he said that he believes horses with long necks, and then that was the fad. Everybody started buying horses with long necks, and naturally that didn't work. And so the bottom line is this. And I remember years back too when they said don't buy horses that have a white foot or a white ankle or a white this or white that, and then comes Secretariat that had 4 white legs, and that blew that whole thing out of the water. And no matter what they come up with, and every couple of years it's a different fad. Small head, big head, long neck, short neck, and to me, and to answer your question directly, because I don't think I ever did, as long as everything is proportionate and the angles are right, meaning the angles of the shoulder. If the shoulder has a good angle to it, and from the shoulder down to the foot, from the forearm to the knee to the cannon bone to the pastern to the short pastern, all the way down into the foot. If all of them angles are proper, and the beginning angle is the shoulder, and the foot, which is just as important as the angle. I mean, an oblong foot is like, to me, it's like having a horse that has a shoulder angle that's straight up and down. An oblong foot, it's a horror. It's a horror. And so, if the angles are right, and the rest of the horse's body is in proportion, and the feet and the foot is round, not oblong, round, a round foot with a good healthy heel and frog, and all the angles are right, that's it. The rest is a total crapshoot. You could sell for yourself a whole lot of money. There's guys the guy Joe I had on the podcast, and he went to the sale. He went to the sale with his sister, and the only horse he ever saw, he's from Brooklyn. The only horse he ever saw was the junk man back then, when they used to come around collecting a newspaper. They had a a horse pulling the wagon. That's the only horse he ever seen. And he picked out a horse just because he liked the look of him, and he bid on the horse, and the horse turned out to be a world champion. What the hell was his name? Joe's. Oh, that horse I could tell a man's he won the Meadowlands Pace with.
Yeah.
Oh God, I forgot. But anyway, it's just
I forgot his name.
It's just, and I know
Pacific Dream.
What's that?
No, the one that's on that farm that they say wasn't taken care of now.
Yeah, right.
Oh yeah, something fella.
Something fella, yeah.
Magic. Yeah, I remember that horse.
Artistic fella.
Artistic fella.
Right.
That's him.
Yeah, artistic fella. So that just goes to show you, you know. But today you have a much better shot. If the angles are good and the foot is round, and now you could even watch them. They have videos of them running in the field. That's all you have to know. That's your best shot. You know, I see these guys going crazy. Look at them for every single angle. If they're a little in it, the only bad thing is, you know, if they're in a little in on the hocks and they're cow hocked or something like that. The worst thing as far as that conformation goes is knees. If you're in at the knees, that's not good. That's very, very, very bad. That's an automatic throw out.
Right.
But other than that, if they're basically proportioned and the angles are good and the foot is round, just take the shot. Don't even ask anybody's opinion, because you don't have to be a horseman to see if a horse stands sound. Well, I mean, you got to have a little knowledge, but so that's the only way I could answer that. And if I was going to go to a sale today, that's what I would look at. I would look for angles. I would look for size. And that's the other thing. I never forget the year, and I can't think of the horse's name. The horse went for a lot of money. It was the highest price horse because it was the biggest horse at the sale. Billy Popfinger bought the horse. It was a huge horse that he bought. It was the highest price horse at the sale, and the horse was huge. And everybody thought this was going to be I don't even know if the horse ever made the races. But that's the only thing you got to worry about today, and that's why it's such a dangerous game to get involved with for so many reasons. And now with growth hormones that they're injecting these things with, and that's why it's so good to give them that. We're talking about yearlings now, to give them whether it be thoroughbred or standardbreds, to give them that 1 month in December. You know, break them, get them going, give them that 1 month to catch up to themselves. Because you know that just about every breeding farm, they have to be giving them something to make them look good and big and strong and muscular and everything. Now, I'm not saying they do it, but I'm saying if I had a bet,
they do it.
They do it. So that's the only thing. It's such a scary business now that like when I just heard Andy say that his son, who's a pretty sharp kid, went to college and everything, he's in the horse business. You know, it's I don't know if I would point my kid in that direction or try to talk him out of it. You know, so I don't know, but when I forget who it was, Andy, I think asked me if I miss it. I don't know if we were on the air when he asked me that.
No, that was me, Larry. That was me, Roy.
That was you.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what. A lot of these big stables got their own vets. They go and vet these babies out. They actually X-ray everything. Now it's a money market machine. Yeah, he's fine. You get him in the friggin' barn. They're all fine at 300,000, 200,000, 100,000. If you can't make a racehorse out of one of them, you shouldn't be in the business. They're all good today. It depends what you want.
Well, you see, years and years ago, I shouldn't say this because I don't know, but a lot of things that are prevalent today that well, maybe because years ago nobody took X-rays, but it's a terrible thing when you buy a yearling and all of a sudden you find out that everything is not closed and there's some OCDs in his hocks. I mean, that's a terrible, terrible, terrible thing. And there's probably reasons for that. There's probably maybe the farm was giving them growth hormones and they were growing a little bit too. They need to catch up to themselves. That's why that leaving them off for a month to let them catch up to themselves works. But once these OCDs, they when I got out of the game, it seemed to me like every horse had OCDs. It was going through a period of time when there were a lot of these farms giving these horses, these yearlings, growth hormones, and they look great and everything else. But so I don't know that. So my advice to anybody buying yearlings is that's what I would do. Just look for a normal size, that's proportioned right. The angles are good and the foot is round. And now you can watch them in the paddocks you'll see how they gated. And you don't want a horse and that's why I say look at the angles first, the shoulder. If the shoulder don't have a good angle to him, if he's straight up and down, you're going to have nothing but problems with that horse.
Right. We got 20 of them down here. You're going to hear from 4 or 5 of them. There's some killers here. We've been in 230 already.
Well,
got some really good ones, really expensive and nice babies. But
good.
that's the way Ronnie Burke does things, first class.
Yeah, I know, but everybody can't buy 300 horses. Everybody don't have 300 horses. So
that's why.
When Houghton first started, when Houghton was on the training side at the Pompano, I think he had 3 or 4 or 5 bonds, and he kept switching. And before you know it, the horses that were in barn A now all of a sudden were in the 3rd barn up, and that's how he separated them. And just because naturally the higher priced ones he put in the first barn, and then it was like the lower rent district, the higher up you went. And but that just goes to show you that even the great Stanley Dancer and Billy Houghton, you're not, it's just tough. Did Houghton have a lot of winners? Yeah, but he had a lot of horses. A
lot of losers too.
What's that?
He had a lot of losers too.
Yeah. Well, so
how many of them didn't make? How many of them don't make it?
Oh, so does everybody. Everybody's the same thing. That's why the business is so tough. And when Ron asked me that question, what would you look for? The answer has to be look for a wishing well.
They got a thing right now. If you're going to look at trotters, the longer the ears, the better they are. That's just one of their fucking themes that they threw out there.
Well, they had a trainer that came to my barn. I had a horse for sale, and this was a thoroughbred. I forgot his name. An English guy, very big trainer. And he came with his girlfriend or his wife, and he come to the barn, and he just asked everybody to step back, and he walked up to the horse. He grabbed the horse's halter, and he looked at the horse. And after it was all over, I says, look, I says, can I ask you what you would? No, I asked his wife or his girlfriend, and it's the eyes. He says, you learn everything from the eyes.
I heard that a lot.
And that's how he bought all his horses. In the meantime, he trained 200 horses, and he had the same win rate as everybody else.
Yeah, so, there you go.
So it's just a crapshoot. I remember Bob Bonney when he was working for Lou Guider and Morty Finder at Pine Hollow Stud. They allowed me to go there with 2 different veterinarians and do the best measurements that they can get as far as lung capacity and heart size and all of that stuff, and examine the throat, examine all the mechanisms, make sure everything worked all right. And nothing mattered. It didn't matter whether the his horse's heart was 9.5 pounds or 6 pounds, or nothing mattered. It just nothing mattered. So I don't know why these guys that are horsemen pay guys for crosses. I think it's already been established that if you're going to go by breeding, don't go more than 3 generations back. So if that's the consensus now, why do you need anybody? Most of the lameness problems are bred out of these things by now, and that's why there's less bow tendons. Years ago, every 5th horse had a bow tendon.
Not a rare.
Today, you hardly see. They bred a lot of the stuff out of these horses. The breeding people did a good job.
The shoes are tremendously different too. The way they shoe today, completely different.
Well,
You never had flip flops back in the day. You never had window bars. You never had all that stuff. They got every kind of shoe they use today. You'd be amazed.
Yeah, but I don't know what that has anything to do with anything. I mean, all them shoes that you just mentioned, them shoes are made and used for a reason.
Yes, they are.
Yeah. So, in reality, if in every one of them horses that use them kind of shoes, I guarantee you, it makes my argument even stronger. Even though nobody disagrees with me, that 90% of the problems start in the feet. And every time you see a horse with a quarter crack or contracted heels or something, it's always a foot that's not completely round.
Right.
It's always an oblong foot. And that's where the problem starts, and that's where everybody should be paying attention. But now, once you start with contracted heels, now they come out with all these fancy shoes where all you should do right from the beginning is just put tips on them, just half shoes, just put tips on them, and you get rid of the contracted heels before they're ready to qualify, and you got a good sound foot, and everything's in good shape, so they can start their 2-year-old year in good shape. But I don't know if they do. I've been out of business for so long now. I don't know. I don't know what they do. But all of these shoes. Hey, look, Ian McKinley is a good friend, and I was just talking with the people, Amy, the people that own that training system that I built that at Fair Hill, the big therapy center there. Ian McKinley does their showing, most of their showing. Ian McKinley become a very, very, very wealthy guy and well-known guy, fixing horses' feet. That's
flown all over the country.
That's how serious the horses, the foot problem is with horses. And yet, instead of people having podcasts on what to do and what's the right way to handle, is it okay to grease the whole foot? Is it okay to grease any part of the foot? Is it okay to grease the sole? Just start with simple, basic, fundamental questions that you can help a young kid that's just training, or a trainer, especially with the thoroughbreds, that really don't have a clue about a foot, because the thoroughbred trainers in the thoroughbred industry, an owner can become a trainer as long as he owns a horse and passes the test. Well, it's no big deal to pass the test. All you got to do is know how to read a condition book, and you're going to pass the test, because they don't even apply the lameness part anymore. So anybody can become a trainer. And with the thoroughbreds, the blacksmith appointments are always made in the afternoons. So you just tell the groom that this horse is going to be shod, because the blacksmiths won't show them by themselves. You got to have a groom hold the horse. They don't put them on cross ties like they do with standardbreds, and they don't have a shop. They go around, they stick an anvil in the ground, and 20 minutes later, you got four aluminums on a horse.
Larry, you remember when they used to shoe horses hot? You used to heat up the shoe and make it? Everything's prefab today. Everything's fucking made to go.
I know.
Half hour, horse is done.
I know. And the best part,
$250, half hour.
The best part is you get some of these. I made a statement on one of the podcasts a couple of weeks ago that if you took any 100 horses at Belmont Park and brought them into the clinic, and you took X-rays, every single one would have a nail that's either quick or in the live part of the foot, or very, very close, or you'd find something that's wrong with the foot. And that's and
A
I always
lot of
say,
our horses have corns. Did you ever hear that? A lot of our horses have corns
what'd you say?
in their
None
feet.
of the horses
Little
have
brute. A lot of them do have corns on a hard racetrack. They get corns in their feet. It's like a bruise
No, I know what a
from the
corn
tracks being so bad.
I know what a corn is. Well, I don't know. You know what I don't understand? I don't understand if the racetrack is bad and it's full of stones, and there's other reasons why horses get corns. It don't have to be because of the racetrack. Because I can't believe that if a racetrack is that bad, where the stones are big enough to give a horse corns, why you just don't train them with full pads and just eliminate that problem. If especially young horses that are going to go over the same racetrack. I mean, it's bad enough that that the primary problem right off the bat is going to be the foot anyway. Why not protect the foot with if the racetrack is full of rocks and it's a bad racetrack. Look, you're with a guy now that it's very hard to criticize anything he does. He's the leading trainer in the world, and so he trains 300 horses, and he's extremely successful. So but I'm just saying in general. I mean, if I was training at a racetrack that had a lot of stones and it wasn't a premier surface, I would do everything I can to protect the feet. Even if it's today they have these boots that you could put on them, just like galoshes. And if you're just going to jog every morning, just throw these boots on them. You don't have to worry about the rocks getting into the hurting the foot.
Another thing is they throw them out in the field. They're constantly pulling shoes. They're in the field every day, pulling shoes, nailing them on, pulling them. It's different game, man. Different.
I know.
Roy, does he ever sell any of those horses? Can a person buy a horse off Ron Burke?
Oh yeah, he'll sell anything.
No, I'm saying, but I mean, would a person dare to take a chance of buying a horse off him?
You could call him up. He's probably got 5 or 6 of them for sale right now.
But what I'm saying is, would they be any good? I mean, would he sell a horse wouldn't he keep one that's good?
He'll sell anything. Their money's right. He'll sell anything and he'll buy anything. He's that kind of a guy. He's got too many horses to deal with. If you want him, call him up and make a bid. Talk to him about it. He's actually a really good guy. Really good guy.
Now you see the other half. The other part of this question that Ron asked me that time, because you can go into from standardbreds to thoroughbred back to with the thoroughbreds, and I talked to Ron very, very briefly about this, but you could take a standardbred, you could take a standardbred from any trainer. I don't care if it's a leading trainer in the world, and there's a chance that you can improve on that horse. There's a chance that you can improve on that horse simply by making another hole in the head check, or letting the hobbles out, or changing the shoe, or you have options because of the equipment that they wear. Right. With the thoroughbreds,
there's nothing.
There is nothing. Even if the worst trainer conditioner in the world is training a thoroughbred, that you could take that. What are you going to improve? Jog them an extra mile every day? Are you going to, there's nothing to improve.
There's no challenge. There's no challenge with thoroughbreds.
Yeah. So when I talk to Eddie about this all the time, because Eddie, look, Eddie's a good guy and he knows what he's doing. He's a pretty sharp guy. He comes from the standardbreds. He's a pretty sharp guy. What I don't understand is, if you're going to be in the claiming game, why not claim? And this is impossible too, because of the drugs and everything else that's going around, and the synthetic stuff that they don't have tests for and everything. So first of all, it's a very dangerous situation, the claiming game. But if you're going to be in the claiming game, I would rather claim a horse that has all back class. I'll put it to you this way. I think you'd be more successful if you claimed a horse that had all back class. In other words, let's say let's say he's 6 years old. We lost Ron, and Ron's the guy I wanted to hit us when we lost him.
He'll be back.
You know what? Today in this game, there's no right way and no wrong way.
No, you're right. Just like when it comes to buying a horse, you just, if you like them, just buy them.
You know how many race with no head check?
Okay, it is Ron.
Sorry, Larry.
Okay, so no, that's all right. So
I'm sorry.
so now
I hit the wrong button. Sorry.
Now, if you're gonna play the claiming game, my opinion, you would be better off claiming an old, let's say a 6-year-old thoroughbred that races 11, 12, 15 times every year. And every year he gets a little bit slower and a little bit slower, but he's an iron horse. 15, 16 starts every year, and he's just getting a little tired every year, a little year. But he's an old classy horse. He was a good horse, then not so good, then not so good. But every year he stays sound. He's this, he's that. Okay, you're better off claiming that horse, turning him right out, race him right out of the field, than claiming a horse that's in a 30,000 claimer that was bought a year ago for $400,000, and now they put him in the 30 claimer.
Right. Of course.
You're better off with the old classy horse, race him right out of the field. Just freshen him up. That's the only thing you can do.
You know what you're getting. Know what you're getting.
What more could you do with a trainer that, and you have to assume the trainer that has this $500,000 horse that he put in the 30 claimer, he has to be a decent trainer, otherwise he wouldn't be able to have owners that give him $500,000 to buy a horse. Now, but even if he was an idiot, all you had to do is just follow protocol, just jog him 2, gallop him 2, jog him 2, every 10 days, work him. That's it. Even if you screw that up, he's still, in 3 months, no matter what you do, he's going to be in a racehorse fit. But then the rest is, does he have the ability? If he had the ability and wants a race and be a racehorse, yeah, it would have showed up already. It would have showed up. So that's my, and I can't get Eddie into thinking like that. They paid $400,000 for this horse. Well, yeah, but who had him? Okay, so and so had him. What I said is what I really believe. And if I was ever partners with Eddie, what I would say to Eddie is, look, we're partners. The next guy that wants to claim a horse, we'll get 2 people that want to claim a horse. I'll claim one and you claim one. You claim the ones that were $500,000 and I'll claim this and race them out of the field. I'm going to stay home. I'll find a nice farm that takes care of them, has a nice green pastures, and I'm going to stay home. And you're going to do whatever you do to this thoroughbred. What are you going to do that you think the other trainer didn't do? What are you going to do? Change the feed? What are you going to do? Give him bottled water?
Give him 12 ounces of baking soda instead of 8.
Yeah. That's a good point, but you can't. So anyway, that's now. So that's, I think we covered most of what we have to cover for anybody that's listening to get into the horse business. And now Eddie's going to call me in the morning and say, "What the fuck are you doing?" But that's how I feel. That don't mean I'm right. That don't mean I'm right. It's just that that's just how I feel. You know,
there's so many more options to improve a horse with the standardbreds.
Yeah.
There's just so many things that you could look at. There's so many angles to look at. Where the thoroughbreds is just like, it's vanilla. They're cutouts. It's just one, what are you going to do? Yep. Like you say, blinkers on, blinkers off, and that's it. The standardbreds, there's a million things you can do.
You pull the shoes off. Look, I was taught, first of all, that's what I really believe. Second of all, when when McCarthy called me up and says, you got to come down here. And I told this story already, so I'm not going to go into it. And he had that Hall of Fame trainer. I forgot his name. And he had a 4-year-old maiden, and he couldn't get the horse to the races. And Mike McCarthy, who was a leading jockey in Delaware for 11 years straight, he buys them. And then he calls me up a month later, and he says, you got to come down to the barn, but come down when Iwinski ain't there. Iwinski was the guy who rode for, and he was the leading trainer in Delaware then. And he says, I says, well, why do I have to come in the afternoon? He says, because Iwinski don't want nobody messing with his horses, and but we can't even catch him anymore. He's
that's the one with the blood, with the bales of straw.
Yeah, that was that horse. Now here's the moral to that story. I almost had the trainer's name. Big guy, Hall of Famer, top trainer. They called him I forget his name. Anyway.
Mott? Was it Mott?
No. The older type. Oh God, I'll think of it as I'm talking. How could you not?
Jerkins,
Alan Jerkins. Yeah. How could you? I asked Mike, how could you buy a horse from Alan, the leading Hall of Famer? Everybody in the world respects him. He's like the ultimate. He's like the Stanley Dancer and Billy Houghton of the thoroughbred racer. How could you buy a horse from him? A 4-year-old maiden. How could you buy a horse from him? He had 2 years to try to get this horse to the races, and he couldn't get it to the races. How could you do that? Well, my partner, his agent was his partner. He was still riding at the time, but he was thinking of retiring, so they were trying to build up a little stable. So he says, well, if anything happens, my partner's pretty sharp. He said, we can always use her as a brood mare. So he says, okay, if that's your reason. So anyway, so now I go down and I get to, and sure enough, 6 quarter cracks in the front and the back. Well, disaster. Sour, rotten witch of a horse, because for years
she was in pain.
Bad feet, in pain, and she just got to the point now where she don't even want, just leave her alone. And by the time we caught her in the stall, we were covered with blood because she kept kicking and blood come flying out all over the place. And it was a disaster. I mean, I patched all the quarter cracks, but I mean, and Mike, to his credit, I brought it to Gateway Farms, and I got a stall for her there, and that's where I went. And Mike every morning came down after work, after galloping and everything. He come down in the morning, right around. He get there about 10 o'clock, and I would patch 1 quarter crack at a time, and then he'd run back to Delaware. It was an hour from there to Delaware Park, and we patched all 4 of them. So this is it. If Alan Jerkins, who's a Hall of Famer, and had what shot I don't even know what to say, but what's anybody, in my opinion, anybody could train a thoroughbred. Anybody could train a thoroughbred, and that's just the way I feel about it. And if you need veterinarians to try to figure out lameness, and Eddie figures that out. He don't. If a horse is sore someplace, he don't need a veterinarian to come and show. But you see that the horse come out and the horse run up and down, dead lame, and you have a trainer who's standing next to a veterinarian, and you hear, what do you think, Doc? What do you think? What are you, fucking blind? You know, I don't get it. You never see that in standardbreds. Never.
No.
And that's a thoroughbred industry, and it's an industry where if it was less regulations and more of a level playing field, and you were able to race more often. Even the guys that want to race, like Eddie, wants to race more often. But I have the condition book right here, and you have a race for a horse, they're 3 weeks apart, and then if it snows or the race don't go or for whatever reason,
You lose the month.
it's crazy. How could you have a racehorse and the average start for a thoroughbred is 7 starts a year? How do you do that? I
Larry,
could never.
Larry, what does it cost to keep one of them things?
Well, right now, the training, I just found this out yesterday because Amy called me. She calls me maybe once every couple of weeks. And that's the bond that when I gave all the thoroughbreds I had to Bruce, that my owner had with Kelly Jones, and I was going to leave the industry for reasons that had nothing to do with the horses, but I had to leave, and I gave him to Bruce, and I gave him to Bruce because he had his own farm. I just got Kelly all her licenses and everything, and I says, Kelly, this is the place for you. You're going to learn that she's Amy, his wife, Bruce's wife. Amy was a jockey that came up with Julie Crone. Very good. They break their own horses and everything. I says, this is the place for you. Well, that's the place where she called me up and she says she's not happy there, but that's the place that the father wind up. All her horses died. She had 30 horses. They all died in the fire. Now Kelly wasn't happy with Bruce, and I told him, I says, don't, just build a right now. If somebody was smart right now, they would make a deal. They would make some kind of deal where they would build. If I was younger, I would do it. I built whatever I built down at Fair Hill, I would build by Belmont Park, either on the grounds because they got plenty of land, or in nearby. Right now, that facility, I made the Amish come and build that barn, and I got at that time I was a salesperson for the first hyperbaric chamber that they were trying to. I had the whole East Coast, so I put one in there, and that place now, they house 80 horses. They bought another farm that houses 100 horses, and now they just bought their third farm. They have close to 300 horses. They charge $165 a day, all inclusive, meaning training, layups. The only thing that's extra is a hyperbaric chamber and any veterinarian work that has to be done, and the blacksmith. But that's what they charge. And all the big stables now, I think, charge right around $150 a day. Some maybe even $200 a day. The bigger stables, where the smaller guys, they're lucky if they can get 100 a day. That's it. That's the best business to get into today. And if I was young, I would put a bunch of people together and build one of them because they're spending billions at Belmont Park, and that's going to be there forever. And that's what I would build. I would whatever and I'm going to tell you something. I don't want to get into it because nobody's going to believe me, and I don't want to put down Bruce Jackson. I don't want to put down anybody. But the guy that knows the true story, 2 people, Kelly Jones, her father, and Jimmy Bernstein. Jimmy Bernstein knows the whole story. Who created that? Who built that? And I can go on and on and on and on. And the reason why Jimmy Bernstein is so upset is because I created a situation that made a lot of people multi-millionaires, well respected in the business, got out of the training game and went into the therapy part. That hyperbaric chamber, they got to get 2 more. Is busy 24 hours a day, $300 an hour. busy 24 hours a day. They got somebody working, and that's all extra. Kelly, Amy, she's on one farm. She trains 60 horses every morning. She's in charge of 60 horses, and she calls me every couple of weeks. And I can't get into it. In fact, when I wrote the book, I was asked not to make it sound like everything that was created was Bruce Jackson's idea. So that I went with that. I'm talking about it now because they don't listen to this. They don't listen to this. Maybe Jimmy Bernstein was, but if Jimmy Bernstein's listening, he's the only one that really knows the truth. But what they did do when they had the grand opening, they invited me and Jimmy Bernstein down. The reason Jimmy Bernstein went down was because the owner that he gave me, Jimmy Bernstein, called me up one day and he says, I have a good friend. Jimmy was in the engraving business. And he says, I have a good customer of mine. He's a very wealthy guy. And his daughter loves horses and she wants to get involved with horses. And that's how I met Kelly Jones. And I got Kelly Jones. I used to sit with her every day and every night, teach her all about the anatomy of a horse, everything, every night for years. Well, not for years, for a year. During that period of time, I got her a trainer's license. I got her an exercise license. I got everything she knew, and she knew more than any thoroughbred trainer that was on the grounds. And that's why when I put her with Bruce Jackson, she says to me after a month, she calls me up and says, Larry, you got to come back. I don't want to talk bad about the guy, but you got to come back. And then the only opportunity they had was to separate was when all the horses died. But the barn was insured, so they had to spend the money, and they didn't want to spend it on horses. So I says, just build a barn twice as big. Now they own 3 barns at Fair Hill. Each barn is more than $1 million now. So that's it. And I spent a lot of time down there, and I dealt with all of them wealthy trainers, and a lot of top trainers there. And one knows less than the other one. I hate to talk bad about these people, but it's so sad. And they have owners that are extremely wealthy, and they play the part. It's all about, you have to have the people. See, the people that are successful in the thoroughbred business are the Jerry Silvermans of thoroughbred racing. Jerry Silverman's one of my dear friends, one of my best friends, and he's gone now, but he wouldn't mind me saying this because it's the truth. Jerry would charm Jerry. I could tell you stories about Jerry all day long, but that's what you have to be a thoroughbred trainer.
A sweet talker.
Jerry Silverman.
A bullshitter.
Well, and it's not bullshit. It's just that he just has a way about him where you just love the guy and you just believe the guy, and that's how, and that the successful trainers have had the bad thing with the successful trainers. Everybody wants to be with a Bill Mott or them kind of guys, but they're all training 200 and 300 horses, and for a small guy, you're never going to get to see them. You're never going to get a phone call. You're never going to get nothing. You're going to get lost in the shuffle, and with no kind of correspondence at all. So, and that's the bad thing about going with a named trainer, when in reality, if you take the worst trainer and you take the best trainer at the thoroughbreds, and you take a snapshot of the training board of the worst trainer on the grounds that has the worst percentage, and then take a snapshot of the training board of the best trainer on the grounds that has the highest win percentage, and they look identical. You see a lot of W's, a lot of walk with a lot of W's, and then they're identical. They all have the same thing. 2 days walk after a race, then jog one, gallop one. It's the same exact thing. Same exact thing. So anyway, so as far as getting into the business now, as far as the thoroughbreds go, if you're gonna buy the yearlings, it's like trying to hit a lottery. There's no right or wrong. Don't worry about, well, he has a white foot, he has a white. They say, well, the pigment is it's a weaker pigment. They'll blister more. Well, that's true. A white foot, a white leg will blister more. I mean, if you rub alcohol on a white leg, it'll blister faster than if the leg was brown, or black. But that has nothing to do with the ligaments inside or the tendons inside. So it's just a crapshoot. And if you're going to go into the claiming game, you got to go into the claiming game and just play the claiming game, because even if they're using synthetic, and this is a choice I had to make when at Philadelphia Park. Even if you're going to go into the claiming game and you know a horse is going to, and you know a horse that they're using synthetic epigen, and you want to claim him. Just put him right back where he belongs, because that epigen that got him to win is still in the system for another week or 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Just put him in. Just don't be afraid. Just play the claiming game. And if you really like a horse and you suspect that he's on epigen, put him right back in.
Right.
In fact, put him in. I don't know if you could do this now, but a great claiming gig was claim one for 20,000 and put him in for 17,500 or 15. You're going to win the race. And if nobody claims him, you got a free purse money. And if he does get claimed, the win purse makes up for the loss in the claiming price. So if you're going to play the claiming game, play the claiming game. Don't say, oh yeah, he was a $400,000 yearling. They put him in for 30,000, so I claimed him.
That's a dumb way of looking at it.
Don't say that, because that's what Eddie does.
No, I mean, it doesn't matter what they paid for him. It's what they produced, what they did. I would never claim a horse by his breeding or what they paid for him as a yearling. I would claim a horse on what he could do. First of all, in a claiming game, it's different. You never claim a horse that has less than a 20% lifetime winning percentage. Okay, especially like a 5, 6-year-old, 7-year-old. You never claim a horse that has a lifetime less than 20% wins. And you want to get a horse that could take a lot of air, that could move into fast fractions. There's not a horse that stays on a wood the whole mile. You want a horse that, could rough it. And that's very important. And
You can
breeding
race
don't mean
them.
shit in claiming game. Breeding don't mean anything in the claiming game.
That's exactly right.
That's right. All right, thanks,
Breeding is for
Larry.
yearlings,
Okay.
not for
Larry, I
claiming.
had a lot of luck with the chamber thing for bleeders.
Well, that's what it's there for.
Yeah.
And it really helped the horse bleeding.
In fact, if there was a high, in fact, you know what, Kelly, and you know what Amy told me last night? If I just remembered it now, she says she always wants me to go down and visit her, and she says I should go in a hyperbaric chamber, and it probably fix my back right up, because it's beyond repair, I think, and I don't even think the hyperbaric chamber it can't. But anyway, she offered that to me. Then I could sit there every day that I'm down there, and because it really works, it does. It fixes things. I'm going to mention this because he's my good friend, and it really happened. And he's all of our friends. Ralph Giganti. Ralph Giganti's son got in a terrible accident years ago, and he was in a coma for like a year and a half. I'm sure you know this, Roy.
Yeah, oh no, I know Ralphie really good.
Yeah, I know. And Ralph every day for years, Ralph he was the head of the peers in Elizabeth. That's when he hired you. Yeah, and in fact, he used to call me every week and say, "This fucking kid, he's driving me crazy. I don't know what to do with him. He's talking about you." So anyway, I said, just don't pay attention. Give him a bullshit job, and I think he gave you a job collecting the garbage or something. I don't know. But anyway, so now his son after, and you can't butt into that situation because the doctors are trying everything, and his son was in a coma for like 2 years. Then Ralph used to go up and spend the weekend with him every weekend. And then Ralph would call me up one day. He says, I think he knows that's me. I think I saw him blink his eye. I think this. And finally, I had to butt in after 2 years. And I should have did this from the day one. Because at that time, Pennsylvania, hospital in Pennsylvania had a hyperbaric chamber. And that's exactly why a hyperbaric chamber was built. For brain dead, for situations like this, brain damage, it fixes them, it heals them, and by the time I got to tell Ralph that, it was too late. The doctor said it was too late. Everything just become vegetated, and it's sad because I should have said, but you don't want to butt in. You don't want to play God. You don't want to butt in,
especially with a gigante.
Yeah.
I went and seen that kid a few times, and I'll tell you what made me cry.
Yeah, it's sad.
He's a really good kid, very good musician. Very good musician.
That's what he wanted to do. He wanted to be, that's what he wanted to do. Yeah.
Yep.
He's a good kid. Ralphie was a good kid. Ralphie, when I got in trouble in '84, Ralphie lived with me for years and years. And when I got in trouble in '84, he left the business and he got a job on the piers. No matter, he was the boss of the piers. He went from there to the boss of the piers along with his cousin Andrew.
Andrew.
Yeah, Andrew. And he told me to come down. He says, "Come on down. You'll be making $500,000 a year." And I wouldn't go. I didn't go. He used to call me all the time, but I used to go hang out down there, and I wouldn't go. But he was, it was a good job. I don't know how much money you were making, but the job he was going to give me was going to be a lot better than the job he wound up giving you because you were nuts.
I don't care. I made about $150,000 a year to start.
Yeah,
and that was back in 1987.
Yeah, I know. It was a good job.
They got to be making $250, $300 now.
Yeah, he was making over 600.
He was getting paid 24/7 around the clock.
Yeah, I know.
Whenever there was a ship there, he was there.
I used to go have dinner with him a few times a year. He'd call me up. He'd take me out on my birthday every year. He never forgot my birthday.
The best thing's the medical and the pension.
Yeah.
For life. Set.
Yeah, I know. I probably should have went, but I always had to be by myself. I always had to do things by myself. I couldn't do that.
You're like me. You had to be your own boss. No one tell you what time to go somewhere.
Because Ralph would say, nobody's going to bother you here. Nobody's going to. I just couldn't do it. And there was a time I was on a park bench. I couldn't do it. He says, "Come on down." I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. I don't know. I don't know what you call it. I just can't do it. Whatever I do, I have to do by myself. By the way, let me say this. I got so upset the last time that the same crew, except for Roy, we were on and we were talking about the veterinarian, Dr. Piggott, in testing the cool cap and everything. And I got so upset that day. And I got upset because I know what you were saying was right. I mean, the right thing to do, it's the right thing to do. The right thing to do is get a thoroughbred, test them, going on a high-speed treadmill and this and that. That's the right thing to do. And then you drop from there. then the next thing is, instead of thoroughbred or standardbred, then the next thing is, instead of going 35 miles an hour, you're going 25 miles an hour, and down and down and down. I was way down here. But I knew that you were saying, and I knew that it was right, and I still know that it's right. But
You talking about me? You talking to me?
I'm talking to you. I'm talking to
Oh,
you,
okay, yeah.
yeah.
I know your point. I knew your point was right too.
Well, let me finish. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but my thing is, I did as much as I could possibly do. The next step is either doing what you suggested, which is the right thing to do, or let's just do it. Now, it started to get complicated, and when things start to get complicated, I start to get
Frustrated.
like antsy.
Yeah,
like
you get frustrated.
Yeah, I started. So anyway, I spoke to the veterinarian. I spoke to Eddie, and I says, all right. I says, look, I'm gonna do some more. I'm gonna do some more research, because see, my thing is, I gotta have this thing now. I already got in touch with the Amish. I think I got everything lined up pretty good. My thing is, I want this thing to be ready and rock and rolling by May, June, something like that, and really an all-out blitz. Now, I start thinking, and I says, well, they're not gonna. They basically call my bluff, because I told them I'd like to come down like before, and then I lied. I said I might be going to California, so they would give me an appointment right away. But they didn't give me an appointment right away. So now I have to wait.
Well,
While I was waiting, I start a bunch of more research, and I found a company that now I know. Look, I start investigating everything. I asked two people at universities, a friend of mine that's a very, very smart guy, another friend of mine that's a computer whiz that deals with, he's in the movie business, that deals with a lot of AI stuff. And I asked him, I says, listen, if you give AI proper information, everything that you pump into a question, AI, the response that you get back, how accurate would that response be if the information you give is accurate, meaning the prescription, the recipe, what you want to use it for how long, all of that information, if it's exact and it's right and it's true, how accurate would the information be that AI pumps out? And I dealt with 3 AI companies, and they all said between 94 and 97% accurate.
That's right.
Okay. Now, if that's the case, and this is my thinking, if that's the case, why the fuck do I have to do what you suggested? Why? Because that's better. What you suggested is better. It's okay. So now I'm sitting here thinking about that, and says, I can't rest on the fact, because some fucking idiot is going to say, yeah, but 97% accuracy is not 100%. And then I have to go into, well, nothing's 100%, and go into that whole thing and get myself aggravated again. So what I did was I start investigating everything. And I get a hold of these, and I have 3 apps, all AI apps. And I go into these apps, and I says, is there a sensor around? And I explain the whole situation, why I need it. Is there a sensor around that I could use that's almost as accurate as putting the sensor in the heart, in the muscle, in the brain, to give the temperature at that point? what's the closest thing to that? And they all come up with this company right here. Okay. I call up the company and I bought them. They're a size of and the company is called Button something Button. And they have a bunch of different things, and they're from the looks of it, they say it's about as big as a quarter. And you put it, and I talked to the guy for over an hour on the phone. I called him up over an hour, and I says, this is what I need. I need something to put underneath the cap, and then I also want another one to put on away from the cap. And I want to put the horse on a treadmill, and I want to, and now these things also, they last a year. They also record everything. They store everything. They're very, very accurate. And it's the perfect thing that I'm looking for. The next thing closest to that is inserting it right into the brain. So I says, they sell them in packages of, I think 9 or something. Anyway, I bought 2. I bought 2 of them. They cost $100 each. Then I bought it 2 of them. I said, okay, I want 2 of them. Then I says, now how do I read this thing? He says, oh, now you have to buy the thing that this goes into. Now you go buy a software. I bought everything. So now I have this thing. Now I could train right on the racetrack. It's going to give you every minute. It's going to record the temperature every minute. Now, after he comes back to the barn, we put it in the thing into the computer, and it'll give you the whole thing. And the temperature was this, it 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 was this. It give you the time and the temperatures for all of that stuff.
That's great.
And the recorder. Yeah, it's perfect. It's exactly what
you need.
Now I don't need to put a horse on a treadmill. I could go right on the racetrack. And I told it, I called Eddie and I told him that's what we're going to do. So I don't even need the appointment. But when I come down there with this, we're going to get a hold of the vet.
Okay.
He's going to stand with us while the horse works.
Right.
And he's going to come back. We're going to go to his office. Then we're going to put this in the computer and we're going to see. And will that satisfy you? It has to satisfy.
That's as good as the treadmill, better than the treadmill.
Right, it's better than a treadmill.
Yeah,
it's perfect.
You're right.
But still, let me ask you this. Let's say I didn't find this. Let's say, because I since that time when we had this discussion there, when I was getting aggravated, from that day on, I finally found this. I kept researching. I finally found this. But before I found this, I says to AI, 3 different apps, and you could put if you have an AI app, put it in. If I give you Chat GPT, whatever it is,
yeah,
perfect information, and I need the result, how accurate would that be? And they will tell you if the information you give me is accurate. Based on that accurate information, the information we give you will be 94 to 97% accurate. Now, why ain't that accuracy rate is 1,000 times better than the flu shot rate?
that's as good as much better than a treadmill.
Yeah. So
hey guys, I gotta go. My battery's at 2%.
Go ahead, Roy. Thanks for coming on, Roy.
All right, bye.
I gotta go. You guys out. All right, Joey, have a good one. Take care, guys.
Good seeing you. Good seeing you. Ray.
Bye. Same here.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, that's great, Larry.
So anyway, that's it. In the meantime,
I don't hear anything.
Huh? Can you
I
hear?
don't hear anything. Do you, Joe?
Yeah, I hear everything.
You can hear me, Joe?
Yeah.
I don't hear anything.
Oh, you hit another button, Ron.
You press your mute button, Ron?
I lost the sound. I don't hear anything. Do you hear anything, Joe?
Yes.
You do hear?
We hear you.
Yeah.
Well,
Perfect.
start all over again. Disconnect and start all over.
Disconnect and plug back in.
I'm going to say goodnight. I have to get
Okay.
up early. I'm going to say goodnight.
All right.
I'll talk to you later, Larry. All right. I'm going to
Okay.
say
All right,
goodnight.
Ron.
All right.
All right. All right.
Good night, Ron.
Okay. So that's it.
So that, Larry, that's good. I mean, the whole thing was getting it written up by this vet. You know, that's a helpful thing.
Yeah. So we'll see. So now that's
You
it.
could actually go to the Meadowlands and do it with a qualifying horse too.
Yeah, but I want the thoroughbred vet to
Yeah,
be
no,
there.
I know, but I'm just saying you could do it with a harness horse too. At a qualifier, it's no big deal.
Meantime, let me go down this list real quick while you're still here. Let me go down this real quick. Michael, good evening, gentlemen. Sorry you didn't have any luck this week, Eddie. Yeah, Eddie didn't have a good week. Eddie's not doing good. He's sick. Eddie's sick. He's not doing well. Eddie better stay home. Eddie, what Eddie should do, Eddie should just go to Florida.
Yeah,
and,
take a month off.
Yeah.
Till
Okay.
the winter's over.
Manny Cigars. Hi, guys. Andy, I don't know you, but you sound like a fun guy. I hope nothing but the best for you. And yeah, he is a good guy. Michael, and it was a very good driver in his day, Manny. Oh God, my fucking back is. Oh. Okay, Andy. Yeah, Andy was good. Michael, prayers for you. Is there anything Larry can offer first? I hope it will help you in God's name. I gave Andy, son, all the information that I had. I gave it to him last night. So
good.
Okay, Steve says, best of luck with everything, Andy. I don't know if you're a candidate for radiation, but it's much better, in my opinion, than removing the prostate. Less side effects, less. Anthony. Hey, Roy, don't get tough unless you stand on a chair. So you can look him in the eye. Notice the girls don't come on no more. They don't want to hear none of our shit.
No.
Hey, Roy, nice glasses. Should have worn them when you were a driver. God bless us, everybody. Can't lose. Calls are the best. Just go the other way. You can't lose. Roy, what the hell? He always in the screen for over. Andy, I think Jimmy would kick your ass. Okay. Manny Cigars. Ron, let me hear a story. You have the best stories. Oh, Larry, you know how you pick a horse, take a dart. Yep, you're right. I would buy a blueberry spur horse. All right. Unless you have money to burn, stick to claiming game. Let somebody else spend 100. Joe, you ever train a spur horse?
Nope.
Larry, when checking a horse out, how important are the jowls and being able to fit your fist underneath the jaw for air clearance? That was the thing. Houghton started that. If you could fit 4 fingers.
That was a myth.
4 fingers underneath here, that means the horse's throat was big enough.
Breathing passage.
Yeah. And it was funny because when he come out with that, everybody was at the sales. That's all they did.
Yeah.
That's all they
Everybody
did. Yeah. That's exactly what we do when we claim a proven sound horse that hits the board 40% of the time. Poor Eddie has not won a race since last May. I really feel bad for him. He's a hard worker.
Really? Hasn't won since May? Really?
We pay 110 a day plus vet for a thoroughbred. Yeah. Manny, David, poor Eddie. He has made his owners more money than most trainers. Just because he doesn't get a win means nothing. Larry, you said Eddie has trouble getting his horses into race. Then why does he race only have 5 or 6 horses? What? Larry, you said Eddie has trouble getting his horses into race. Then why does every race only have 5 or 6 horses? I don't know. I guess the races he's looking for are the races that they're eligible. You got to go by this book, whatever's in this book. Sometimes the races don't go. Sometimes they don't use the races. So
They don't fill.
They don't fill. Oh, Larry, I told you send me a link tonight. Oh, I forgot, Manny. I wouldn't have sent you the link anyway because I wanted tonight to be for
And
you left me hanging. Yeah. No. Andy has a great laugh. Very funny stories. Larry, when your hood is perfected, I would go to the quarter horse game. Every horse there wears a hood. That's it. Okay, folks, that's it. I'm going.
going for your ice cream.
Yeah, Joe, I'll talk to you in a day or two. Your
All
dad?
right. Did you get anything back from the movie thing?
No, I didn't get. No, he's still editing it.
Okay.
He's the guy that's doing it, Tom. He's a perfectionist. He's
All
going to
right. Good.
beep out
And everything else is positive with the Amish and all that stuff.
yeah,
Good.
yeah.
Very good.
So that's it. So guys, thanks for showing up tonight. Joe, I'll talk to you in a day or two. I hope your father does better.
Yeah, I hope so.
I guess there's no change with him, right?
No, it's a long grind, Larry.
Okay, that's it. Good night,
All right.
everybody.
Take care,
Joe,
Larry. Good night, everybody.